bring him in alive.
What?
Armadillo, we can't bring him in alive.
Why's that?
If we take him in, the only thing he has to deal is us. Look, I don't like it, but this bastard has to go, Vic. Jail won't slow him down. You tried reasoning with him. I'm not going to lose my job so some kid-raping piece of shit can bargain down his sentence make me his bunkmate.
Motherfucker, I'm a criminal. Ain't nobody giving me no fucking job.
How come you don't believe you sold the hash? How do I know, man? Right. Hey, my mom's over there. I'm gonna scream.
I'm gonna blow you away, Ted.
Hey, that's not real.
You've never seen anything so real.
You told Doberman you sold that hash, didn't you? I had to. I got busted last month. I never had a chance.
Kid who tells on another kid is a dick.
Jesus Christ, for God's sake, man. Put the gun away. Don't...
Goodbye, Narc.
I took you in. Nobody! I showed you how the system works, the value of information, how to get it. And this is how you fucking pay me back, you cockroach. I gave you Darien. I gave you your manhood. I gave you everything. You've been one of the great ones, buddy. I look at you, and I see myself.
I don't care what you do. I don't care what you say. I don't care where you go or how long you stay. Someday, baby, you ain't gonna work for me anymore. Well, you take my money and you turn me out. You fill me up with nothing but self-doubt. Someday, baby, you ain't gonna worry for me anymore. When I was young, driving was my craving. You drive me so hard, almost to the grave. Someday, baby, you ain't gonna worry for me anymore. Recycling the same old thoughts. Someday, baby, you ain't gonna worry for me anymore. So many good things in life that I've overlooked. I don't know what to do now. Baby, you got me so hooked. Someday, baby, you ain't gonna worry for me anymore. Someday, baby, you ain't gonna worry for me anymore. You're going down the road, baby, and you can't come back. Someday, baby, you ain't gonna worry for me anymore. I'm trying to be friendly, tried to be kind. I'm gonna drive you from your home, just like I was driven from mine. Someday, baby, you ain't gonna worry about me anymore. Living this way ain't a natural thing to do. Why was I born to love you? Someday, baby, you ain't gonna worry about me anymore.
Yeah, buddy, it's the Ron and Fez show. Grammy Award winning XM Radio's own Bob Dylan. Big night at the Grammys last night, and really XM and the Ron and Fez show did okay for themselves. All right, it's 866 Ron Zero Fez, 866 Ron Zero Fez. I'm Ron, there's Fez.
Hiya, buddies.
Earl Douglas in the house.
Hello, everybody.
What's up with you today, Earl?
Everything's good.
Did you watch the Grammys last night? Were you all part of that?
Yes, I watched the entire show.
Did you love it?
I did not like it at all.
You're kidding me. What was
I thought the first hour was pretty good, and then the rest of the show just ground to a halt. I thought it was just really just bogged down in tributes. There were like very few actual awards given out.
Who gives a fuck about the awards? It's a night of seeing music on TV, and that Christina Aguilera fucking James Brown thing was one of the best TV moments in a long time.
I didn't like her performance.
Oh, you're drunk.
I thought she totally oversang it. I thought she always oversings.
Oversinging a James Brown fucking song? The man fucking invented oversinging. Oh, Earl, you're out of your fucking mind. All right, 866 Ron Zero Fez, 866 Ron Zero Fez. If you remember when we were leaving here, Fez, he had it in his mind last week. He was going to like the first hour, hate the rest of it. Who cares about the awards? Do you really give a shit about an award or not?
No, the awards all run together because everything's male, female, this, and you get the best pop vocal, female, lead, whatever. You know,
all confusing to you?
To me, it's all confusing.
Well, there's so many awards that they have there. There's just tons of awards. Everybody goes home with one. Earlier today, he won 13 Grammys. No, I disagree with you. I thought overall for a TV show, not bad at all. And American Idol comes out real big on a Fez.
Yeah, Carrie Underwood, Best New Artist.
Yeah.
She's thanking Simon Fuller and American Idol for everything they did for her.
Well, you know, she should. Last year she was fucking nobody. She wins the contest. She's got the #1 album of the year, and then wins all these other awards. All right, Ron and Fez show.
We actually...
What is it, Earl?
We have Carrie Underwood booked for the show.
Why would I want Carrie Underwood on the show?
Why wouldn't you? She has sold 4.5 million copies. I
don't want her on the show today.
What? But I mean, it's already done. It's pretty much...
It's not done. Why would I want to talk to Carrie Underwood? No, thank you. All right, 866 Ron Zero Fez, 866 Ron Zero Fez. Earl, why are you looking at me all upset?
No, because...
I didn't get a sheet that says Carrie Underwood was booked.
I didn't get anything.
Well, we always strive to book the best guest for the show, and I thought
when did we strive to book the best guest of the show? You've had 2 guests this year, Kareem Abdul-Jabbar and fucking Crispin Glover.
Yes, and
we're not known for having the best of the best.
But why not Carrie Underwood? I mean, it's Carrie Underwood.
Carrie Underwood, like I care. No, I don't care, Earl.
Don't Carrie Underwood.
What am I supposed to do? A phoner with her? What did it feel like? No, not going to happen. All right, Ron and Fez show. 866 Ron Zero Fez, 866 Ron Zero Fez. I got some good news, Fezzy. Let me interrupt you. The Hideout Boys are stopping by today.
Oh, nice.
Well, I'm wrong about that. It's J-Dubs and El Jefe. They no longer call themselves the Hideout Boys. They call themselves Next. They are now known. This is one of those wrestling moves where suddenly the guys come back with a new look. Their new name, Fez?
Yes.
Next.
Next. Okay, so no longer the Horsemen, now they're Evolution. John Mayer last night nice scene with him where he was getting announced as a nominee and thought he had won when they said his name, when they were listing the nominations, and started to make a beeline for the stage while they were still putting nominations out there.
I was going to hit my John Mayer drop, but it's no longer on here. I guess the guys figured that he was a big winner. Why put him up on the replay?
Then he ended up winning that award. So it kind of took all the fun out of it when he was headed for the stage in a faux pas moment and then got to go up anyway.
John Mayer won what? 2 awards last night?
Yeah, he won 2 awards. I know he won Best Vocal Album and I guess Best Male Pop Vocal. So that's what he picked up last night.
Why is Earl mad at me over Carrie Underwood?
Because his Carrie Underwood booking got nixed.
It's done, Earl. Why you never told me Friday?
I mean, this is a big booking. I mean, she's one of the biggest stars in the country.
Is she going to be in here?
Yeah, she
was not. You're a fucking liar. She did not fly back here in the middle of the night. You just lie. All right, then you bring Carrie Underwood in today. Yes, it's back on. Bring her through these doors. I would love to meet her. All right? It's all on you, big man. I can't wait till she comes in. All right?
Oh, I mean,
good. She's booked.
I mean, calls have to be made. Calls were made, and things.
Right. Let's bring her in. I'd love to meet her. I mean, it's going to be exciting.
I mean, once you said not to do it, I had to call Roland.
Bullshit. Bullshit.
I'm trying to track the man down.
Nah. Sorry, Earl. You're a fucking liar. You tried to do a phone or she is not here in town. And you didn't. When did you ever make a call when we were on the air?
Well, I've always made calls. When certain situations happens, I have to make calls.
All right, who did you cancel her with?
I had to call Roland.
All right, put me on with Roland, and I'll say I changed my mind. Bring her in. Since she flew all the way back in, I'm going to be glad to talk to her.
Well, I can't find Roland.
But you found him 40 seconds ago.
Well, I mean...
Just stop, Earl. Seriously. The next time you want to fucking join in the show, just say to yourself, I have no abilities. And that's what we'll be. All right?
All right.
You fucking gimmick killer.
Mary J. Blige, she's winning last night, and just running off a list of
I could give a shit, Fezzy. I honestly could give a shit about the Grammys. If you want to talk about it, go ahead and talk about it, but I'm not going to. Go ahead, chat it up. I'm sorry to interrupt you. I'm just pissed at him. Tell me all about Mary J. Blige. I'd love to hear it.
I was just wondering because
I don't get all the zoo shows in the fucking country that do this stuff all day.
My thought was when she was running down her laundry list of people she said thank you to, at one point the Justice League came up. And I'm like, did you really run out of people that much to actually get down to the Justice League of America? Or is that just something that I've never heard of? So the Hideout guys are here. Well, Hideout or Next?
It's Next.
Yeah, this week Next. The Next Boys.
Mm-hmm.
It sucks.
It doesn't have a ring to it, does it?
No, not quite. Not like the Hideout Boys.
So, and also last night,
J-Dubs and El Jefe in the Hizzle.
How are you doing?
I just had to run over and yell at our producer. He drives me fucking nuts. Had a little fucking bit with him to screw up Roland, and he shits all over it. He fucking shits all over it. Where are your abilities at, Earl? Where's your fucking abilities?
I made a mistake.
But what do you plan on filling the fucking show with now that you can't fucking pull off this bit? That could have made you look good for a second. What do you plan on filling the fucking show with? Stuttering?
No. I'm not going to stutter through it.
And this is in front of my pals, where I tell them, oh no, come to XM Radio. Everything runs smooth. Everything runs great. J-Dubs and El Jefe, what do you say, pals?
We just got in yesterday. So
why are you not with XM yet? Wiki tells us that he loves you guys. Elo tells us that he loves you guys. Who's dragging their feet?
Well, we had a meeting with them. Everything went well. We're just
waiting.
Let
me guess. Bandwidth.
Yeah.
Always hear the word bandwidth. And I'll tell you the truth.
It's in my nightmares.
I don't even know what it is. I have no fucking idea what it means. But I hear When we get the bandwidth, everything will be fantastic.
I have an XM, and I go try to switch through stuff, and I've never seen bandwidth on my my list of anything.
It's nowhere on the box, just no explanation at all.
Boys, you were doing well. You're flying high in Florida.
Mm-hmm.
Suddenly, what happens?
Budget cuts.
Budget cuts.
Yep.
So you're off the station there.
Mm-hmm.
What happened tonight? They go into shitter after you guys left?
I haven't even. Well, they weren't very far out of it when we were there. But,
Sure they were.
It's a don't look back Bob Dylan situation?
Yeah.
Yeah, you don't stick around the scene like the alley of a rape. And we just decided to get out of there.
Get out of there.
Why do we want to relive the memories?
With your torn dress.
Right.
Sit there. You're bleeding.
And we moved completely out of town.
Oh, you did?
100% out of town, because immediately after we get fired, that's when people start recognizing you around town and saying, hey, what happened? What happened to the show, guys? So we just completely...
You just went to the border and headed out.
Mm-hmm. It's not even that. It's, hey, love the show. Can't wait to you guys open door policy on Friday. We got fired last week. So obviously they still didn't even listen.
So no one even wants to do that. Geez, what are you going to do for money now? It's got to be rough. Because the last thing you want to do is be seen working a straight job.
Yeah,
you know
exactly.
What I mean?
That's another reason why we got out.
That's another reason to go to Tampa.
Now, all right, so you're over in T-Town.
Yeah.
Living where? What side? Tampa side? Or...
Temple Terrace near USF.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, my chick has a place out there.
Now, your chick, is that the same chick you had in D.C.?
No, it's not at all.
Okay, so that's over.
That's, yeah.
Yeah. And, Dubs, you're still with your chick in D.C.?
Nope. That ended right after we got fired.
So
Florida, where dreams die.
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
You had a bad day.
Yeah.
The funny thing there is both you guys, you leave, everything's going to go great.
Mm-hmm.
You're in sunny Florida. You both take your chicks with you.
Yep.
You lost them both down there?
Yeah.
What happened with you, Hefe? Your chick just left, or?
It was one of those. It had always been teetering, radio, kind of what the writer's going through.
Right.
Radio or me.
Oh yeah, she was always like you've taken your politics or whatever.
Yeah, she's doing the lawyer kind of stuff.
Right.
And Florida wasn't good for her. DC had to work out that way, so it was awful.
All right, so that was rough. So that happened how far into the gig?
And not very long.
Yeah.
Like weeks.
And you were laughing at him, Dubs. And in your opinion then, oh, I got a great chick. Look at you. You're fucked up. You don't know what you're doing with your life.
I know how to work a relationship.
Yeah, right.
And then we get fired. My chick freaks out that we're going to have to move again. So she starts fucking some guy from work.
Wow.
Yeah. But the thing I get right at first was, I think we've just grown apart.
Right, that's a lie.
And then I see all these text messages. And
so had it been going on a while, or do you think immediately?
I think it was something that she knew was an option for a while.
Right.
And then she decides, well, there's no income coming in from over here. Why don't I slide this way?
Didn't they go on a company trip to Vegas?
Yeah, she
right
was,
after we got fired?
And that
Jesus.
kind of really
and you were like,
pushed it forward.
You didn't know at all?
No.
You're a fucking idiot, right?
It was one of those things. Dubs was like, I love Vegas. I'll come out. She's like, nah, don't worry about it.
Yeah, and then I'm like, oh, okay, when do I pick you up from the airport? I'm going to get a ride home from a friend. Okay.
Oh, Jesus.
So it's not that you grew apart, it's just that they grew closer.
Exactly.
Now, Now, Hefe, were you hip to the fact that his chick seemed like she was the type to...
I'll be honest, I hated the bitch the whole time they've been
Never
together.
liked her,
Not at all. I never thought they were good for each other, and I'm actually kind of happy he's out of it.
Of course you are. Nobody wants their fucking...
And now you got a roommate.
Anybody. Yeah. Oh, you guys are all living together?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, and not doing a show.
Go shopping together. No, we do one in our living room.
Oh, yeah, just doing that.
We sit there and watch TV.
And rip it.
Yeah,
Hefe's girlfriend.
Yeah, oh, she laughs. She likes.
So then the last I heard you went up to JFK to do something. You were doing like a night show.
Yeah, we did a week worth of nights, kind of like what we're doing this week at Free FM we're doing.
And of course, I didn't listen to any of it, but all the guys on RonFez.net said you killed, and it was fantastic.
It went well, and then we really didn't hear anything back from them. They said that they offered us the job, but we turned it down because the money wasn't good enough. That's what we hear that they're telling people around the station.
Yeah, there were all sorts of rumors that they brought an offer to us. We didn't like it. We said, no fucking way. We'll go hang out.
Because we have all this clout.
Yeah, right.
We're demanding.
There's times that you turn down offers, and that's when you have a job.
Yeah.
Right.
Normally, when you don't have a job, you're like, I'll happily accept this. That's what I'll do right now.
Mm-hmm.
So that is not going to work out. They
already
start
signed
a brand new show
Yep.
tonight called Unzipped.
Mm-hmm.
And Unzipped is like girls giving guys advice.
I guess so. I'm not really too sure. I haven't listened to it.
He said, she said, I guess. I honestly have no idea. That's what it sounds like.
That's no. That's always no. All right, so now you talk with XM. They definitely want to do something with you.
Bandwidth.
Timing isn't right now.
Exactly.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
That's why we're kind of thinking, hey, let's hang out in Tampa. Let's enjoy the weather. Let's see Fezzy when he comes down on vacation. And then, once everything gets nice here in New York, maybe scoot up. Although we never got a call from Fez back. Thanks.
Why, Fez, get back in touch with people. Stay in touch.
I usually stay on the St. Pete side of the bay. Don't make it into the Tampa area.
Bridges.
We can drive.
Exactly.
Bridges, always a problem. By the way, did you book that guy that sounds exactly like Fez that wrote the book, Earl?
No, not yet.
Is that another lie? You too busy opening the door for Carrie Underwood? Because I just checked. She's not even in fucking town. Everything was a lie, wasn't it?
That part of it, yes.
An unbelievable lie, would you say, Earl?
Yeah.
A lie that holds zero fucking truth? You and the writer, I do not get it anymore. I do not understand it. We'll see what happens with this gig in 2 weeks. That's when it all comes down. Hey, Doug, you're on Ron and Fez.
What's up, buddies?
Hey, pal.
Hey, we knew the Hefe and Dubs were coming up there, so we got a Power Talk room going for their, I guess, what are they doing?
Next.
Every night this
Next.
week?
Yeah.
Now, Next was the name of the failed Steve Jobs after Apple thing, wasn't it?
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Ouch.
And then didn't Lorne Michaels have a show called Next that was like a sketch show after he left Saturday Night Live?
I remember there being a TV show called Next.
All right, we were riding high, feeling good about it.
Yeah.
And now, all of a sudden, like a sack of bricks.
All right, so you guys will be in the Pal Talk room tonight at 10?
Yeah, one of our guys, Lee Mell's got a Power Talk room going. We got some listening threads going on FBA, and we're all about the Hefe and Dubs. They do a great show, and everybody needs to get behind them and make sure they end up in a good place.
We appreciate the
peace.
support, boys.
The FBA guys, always good guys.
Love them.
And unfucking-believably hot chicks they have over there.
Yeah, he was sending me, Doug was sending me these threads of just hot chicks posing all kinds of nudes on there.
I think we're getting a party going. I think Mikey Boy and Schnitty are working out something maybe on Friday night.
Nice. After the gimmick, after midnight?
Yeah.
So John Manelli brought you in, right?
Mm-hmm.
How's he been to you so far?
He's been awesome to us.
Yeah.
I mean, he's been cool from the very beginning. He definitely he kind of dug us first before JFK, but they kind of stepped in. But giving a lot of tips, and he seems pretty stoked about the idea. We're going to actually go meet with him here in a little while. Him and Al Dukes.
Lunch?
No,
I don't think so.
Just to kind of see.
We aren't that important yet.
Get a meal out of them.
Yeah. Always try to get a meal. Always bring them down to a meal.
We're thinking we're going to do that with Line Wand.
Line Wand is always good for a meal. And make him go, he's got the fucking special card. Make sure you're eating steaks.
All right.
Fez, you'll buy a meal, too. You got your own special card, that JetBlue card. Every time he buys somebody a steak, he gets a free trip. And you haven't been returning calls to the boys?
Well, I thought I had. Didn't I talk to J-Dubs just last week?
Yeah, we talked last week.
I just don't call Hefe back.
Yeah.
Well, I don't blame you there.
I don't speak Spanish.
Well, he's not Spanish anymore. He's Next. It's all happening tonight on Free FM. Next. Here's Fritz. Fritz, you're on Ron and Fez.
Yeah, buddies, I don't mean to jinx the whole name or anything, but there's just a fucking terrible show on MTV called Next also. It's a dating show, and it's just awful.
All right.
Well, let's...
We did Imaging.
Yeah, we already did Imaging.
Do you want to go back to your the original title, Gang Rape, and just say... No, what...
That was the Saturday Night shows.
This is a concept show, right?
Yeah.
Instead of just being straight two guys...
The big thing, I guess, CBS is looking for something different. That was the key word, something different.
Different from you guys or different from us?
No, just kind of like period where, like a he said, she said show.
Right.
Something different.
Right.
So we just
gimmicky kind of.
Yeah.
I see.
So in something, kind of formatted, so we figure we roll with the next thing. And basically it's the top 10 stories of the day, 2 hours with jokes with Dubs and I. So we're actually pretty excited about it. We think it's going to be a lot of fun. It's going to move pretty fast.
What about you call it the fastest 2 hours in radio and just get that out there?
If we can get Booth to do some imaging, because obviously Next is in the hole.
No, I do. I like Next. I think it's going to work out. Next, you yell that every once in a while.
We have something that yells it.
Okay.
Yeah.
Now, are you taking calls or just
Yeah.
you two?
Yeah,
All right.
we'll be taking calls, everything.
Yeah.
So you'll take your next caller.
Yes.
So basically, this is
Next generation of radio.
Really, hey, we're going to sell you whatever you want, and then we're going to do our own kind of radio. Mm-hmm. Fezzy and I have been there. One time, we actually got to New York with ronandfez.com.
Exactly.
And it was a total lie. I don't even think I owned a computer at the time.
No.
And I go, it's all going to be about the internet. And they're like, internet? I fucking never forget this. We came into New York. Right away, they take us on a fucking sales call to some, I don't want to say what the thing is because I think the product is fucking obsolete. And it looked like a movie set. It was like the brick wall and all these young, and picture every ethnic fucking thing you could see. Young guys and girls that were like Japanese and Spanish and black and white. And they were all just typing away like a Gap fucking commercial, right? So we go back. Your computer will be your phone. And I'm like, what? Yeah, you'll be able to turn your computer into a phone. And we explained the thing of ronandfez.com. Love it. Guy sat at his desk, wrote a check for $250,000, handed it over. I'm like, this is the best. Literally the next week, the bubble fucking burst on the whole .com thing.
Did you catch the check already?
Yeah. Yeah. And never did figure out how to use this product. We used to lie and say we were taking calls from people over their computer.
Yeah, saying that this is the person on this special phone when just the regular phone.
Because I don't think anyone had. Because if it's not like people are going, instead of a phone, I need something bigger. I need something larger that's stuck to a desk. Here's Joe. Joe, you're on Ron and Fez.
Yo, buddy.
Yeah.
I got Queen Latifah scheduled for a 1:30 phoner, if that's cool with you.
No, I don't think that's going to happen either.
Bill, you're on the Ron and Fez show.
Hefe, Dubs, Ron, Fez, Bill Milliken, Baptist PI, Titanic Radio. How you doing?
Oh, jeez.
Listen, hypothetical question. I want to get my breaking news at 10 o'clock at night. What channel should I listen to?
Bill, one of the things you try to do when you move along is get rid of old characters. I don't think Dubs and Hefe want to talk to you anymore.
I doubt that's true, Ron.
You are one of the things that drug them down.
How dare you, sir? How dare you spoil my name like that?
So his idea of doing a character is just to do this with his voice. I've got a character.
Familiar, doesn't
it? Sid?
Yeah, Bill.
Sid, stop it. Just stop it.
No.
He won't give it up.
He's not going to give it up.
No. He won't tap out. He wants to be part of Next.
All right, now Hefe and Dubs in with us today. They're doing another opportunity to get on the radio here in New York City this week. Anything else out there? Anybody else calling you guys? I would have thought, because when you guys first went on the beach, everybody was interested. Everybody I talked to. Yeah, I love those guys. We need some fresh blood. We need some younger guys.
For about 5 days, my phone was ringing nonstop.
Yeah.
It's kind of tailed off every day since.
Now it just stopped.
Mm-hmm. My mom calls still, sometimes.
I mean, your own chick's left.
Yeah,
That's the bad thing. Now, have you talked to her since?
Well, we're still, sharing the same bank account because we have, the apartment in both our names and everything, so we're still trying to get through all that. So there's still a lot of contact there, just about money.
She's also doing this weird thing, too, of still being his friend.
Trying that angle.
Like, adding new MySpaces, and, the photo of those two are still up on her MySpace and stuff.
Yeah.
It kind of pisses me off.
She's really cute.
Yeah.
She's adorable. Every time I met her, she's very, very sweet. But women are fucking crazy. They are just crazy. They're unpredictable. Fez, you did the right thing.
What's that?
Just kept your dick dry. Nobody can fuck. Everybody thought that was a bad idea. But in the long run, it really seems like it was smart. Carrie, you're on Ron and Fez.
Yeah, this is Carrie Underwood. Earl never tried to get a hold of her. I'd come in studio today, you know. I am in town.
Carrie, let me apologize to you for us using your name today. Could have been very, very funny. Could have, it was like a little idea to fuck with Roland from the O&A show since he was in trouble with Ope today. Gave it all to Earl on a fucking silver platter. Earl takes the silver platter, shits on it, Fez, then sticks that silver platter up his ass, shits it back out, and tries to give it to me.
More of a Pittsburgh platter.
El Ross, you're on Ron and Fez.
Hey, Ron and Fez. Glad to hear you guys got the hideout on the air, giving them, letting them get the word out there about what they're doing tonight. We're all of us down here in Florida are going to be glad to hear them on the air again.
El Ross, big fan of yours?
Yeah, he's one of the guys who's on all the boards. And
Oh.
Very good guy, very helpful.
Yeah, and condolences on the death of Matt Albert, of course, guys.
that's a bit that Tommy decided to run, our old producer, that one of our friends died, and everybody believed it.
Just to say that friend died?
Just because he's bored and not in radio right now. So
yeah, that never backfires on you when you do.
I guess the Monsters over at Real Radio did a whole eulogy for him because they thought he actually died.
Wow.
Yeah.
You know what's funny about that, Doug, is I called in to tell them that you guys were going to be back on the air tonight, and first Thursday Jim was pretty nice, and he said they weren't involved with that whole Matt Albert being dead thing, were they?
Yeah.
And I kind of tried to get you guys out of the corner on that one.
We didn't do anything.
I just threw Tommy under the bus, basically. So.
Thanks, El Ross.
All right.
You're
Peace,
welcome,
El Ross.
Later.
Thanks for supporting the boys. It's the Hideout Boys. Here's Robert. Robert, you're on Ron and Fez.
Yeah, hey, Ron Fez, just to bring this up real quick, on the replays, it appears that Earl edited out his fuck-up that day, but left Fez farting. So
Of course he did.
Check in on that. Fez isn't too happy about it.
Earl goes out of his way to fucking protect Earl. You are the best producer for Earl.
First of all, I did not edit Tuesday's show at all.
Earl, you're lying.
I'm not lying.
I know without even checking because I see you talking. And that immediately means that you're lying. Here's somebody who lives in Tampa, maybe love to hang out with you guys if you like to get together for dinner. It's Gail O. Hi, Gail O.
Hello, sweetheart.
Oh, jeez. What's wrong, honey?
Oh, he's been cleaning out the line of credit, 7,000 here, 3,000 there. And the woman, my lawyer said, you have to take all the money out of the line of credit and put it in another bank. He found out about yesterday, and he punched me around and hit me, and I called 911.
Smart.
And, I just have a broken heart now. I can't even cry. He refuses to pay for the electricity, to the mortgage. He refuses to have me have health insurance. And my left arm is all screwed up. I can only...
From his punching?
Yes.
I've been friends with Paulo for a long time, Gail.
I know you have.
But only now am I realizing what an awful person that he is.
He is really... I've always known he was violent, but...
It sounds like you were married to Hitler all these years.
Yes, it was Hitler.
Mm-hmm.
And it was...
And you were Poland.
Yeah, because I loved him. I had 2 abortions because I loved him, and
Sure.
He said he would...
I would have sent flowers.
What better way to show love?
He's never given me any presents.
No.
This year he says, we're skipping Christmas this year.
No.
Yeah.
Now, are you taking anything, Gail? You seem a little down today.
Well, I'm just really down because I lost my house keys and I have to have somebody come out and fix them.
Do you have anyone to live with right now, Gail?
No.
Now, I have my friend J-Dubs here. He lives in Tampa. His girlfriend just left him with somebody from work.
Fate?
Yeah. So he's going through the same thing as you are.
Oh.
Yeah, it's awful, isn't it?
I think he's looking for a living gal pal.
Well, if he is... But the only trouble is I have 4 dogs.
That's no problem for him. All he wants is a friend with benefits.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
have benefits.
Ooh, hot.
Well,
I know she's not against going to the clinic.
No.
I get $500 a month annuity, but
That's
I'm
not bad.
working.
That's a good benefit.
No, it's not bad, but New York rent is,
Yeah. Well, you live in Tampa, so that's not a problem.
yeah.
Mm-hmm. You don't have to
And
worry
he
about
lives
New York
in
rent.
New York.
Now, when Paul attacked you yesterday and started punching you, what brought it on?
I was trying to talk to him about the situation and that, I would put the $28,000 back if he was paying bills with it, but I just can't trust him because he's draining the account and there'll
Right.
be nothing left.
He's insane right now.
My lawyer says I can't touch that money either. I'm down to $56.
That's no good, right?
Well, not if you've got to try to take care of the house and you have to... There are things that he needs to do here that he's let go, and I mean...
Where did he meet this girl of his?
I don't know. Email.
Damn computers.
I heard it was on an Elton John website, a message
was.
board. Yeah.
It was.
Was he always a big Elton John fan?
Yes, that's his favorite artist.
Did he ever take you to see Elton?
Once when it was raining in Orlando.
How ironic, right? Raining like tears.
Yeah.
Elton John, the thing that leads to the tears of your marriage.
It's just the whole thing. I'm very weak. I haven't eaten for almost 8 days.
You haven't eaten anything for 8 days?
No, sir. I can't get it past my throat. I just throw it up again.
Because he's got you so upset.
He's got me so upset I'm losing keys and phones, and I don't have the money to...
Fez, when are you heading back to Florida? I'd like you to check in on her.
Probably in the next month or two.
Can you go sooner? Can you just whip down this weekend? Just in and out? Just straighten up some of the things that she needs in the house?
Well, I suppose I could drop off some burgers or something.
She can't eat right now.
We'll give you a ride.
You guys drive the whole way?
Yep. He slept the whole way. I drove, basically.
Like a baby.
Mhm.
Great.
That drive isn't too bad, is it? I mean,
What is it, like 20 hours, 24 hours?
Oh, 18.
About 18? The way you guys drive?
Mm-hmm.
Taking 2 hours off. Did you drive straight through?
Yeah.
Mad dogs. Mad dogs. Fez, why don't you head on back down with the boys, drive on down, spend a couple of days with her. I just will feel better if I know that everything's straightened out. You can look over
everything isn't straightened out.
I know you need the oven fixed still, right?
The stove fixed and all his bookcases and his bags of crap, and the mother-in-law apartment is filled with garbage, and he has a storage lock. He has a storage compartment which he only knows the key for and the password.
Fezzy, why don't you head down there and do a queer eye and just totally redo the whole house?
I'm just not that handy is the problem.
Yes, you are. You're very handy.
I'm not going to be able to fix that oven.
I can be help. I can help. It's mostly packages of things that I have a hard time moving, that I've been trying to store, but I don't have a storage place.
Gail, are you still working on the book?
Yes, I'm still working on the book.
What's the title right now?
Next.
29/30 mistakes.
What's that? 29 of 30 mistakes?
29/30 mistakes of a good girl.
Oh, that sounds like a great... Why don't you just call it I Was Married to Garbage for 30 years?
Oh, no.
No, because you still love him.
I know.
You still love Hitler. And there's a lot of people in Germany like that, too.
My dad
There's even
was
some in
born
Jersey.
Germany. He
What?
was born in Denmark.
Is that right? He was a Dane?
Mm-hmm. Can't you tell by his features? He's got that Nordic
Paleness?
nose.
Yeah.
Nordic nose and that kind of... Well, anyway.
Yeah, what's that matter, right? 29 of 30 mistakes.
Yeah, and I want to write them on the computer, but I don't know how to put the disc thing in.
Put the disc in there.
Yeah, the punch card.
Fez will go over that for you. He's basically Geek Squad. He'll get down there and get that thing up and running.
This sounds like too much to do in a weekend.
You need a week?
No.
He doesn't want to come over here.
All right, don't be that way, Fez. Now you hurt her feelings. How far are you from Temple Terrace, Gail?
I live right on the border in
Perfect. I'll have J-Dubs and Hefe come by. They're the next boys. They're the ones that are always doing stuff next.
Okay, so I'm sorry about Fez. I didn't want to hurt his feelings.
No, he hurt your feelings. He's basically, his friendship with Paul O has clouded his abilities to look at this thing fairly.
It's rough because I wanted to be friends with both of you, but it looks like we're going to have to choose sides here.
You've always been bros before hoes.
I'm not asking you to do anything. He told me never to call you again, that he damaged me on the air.
Oh, Jesus.
And that I couldn't call you anymore. And actually, that's what I was calling you for. To tell you that I can't speak to you anymore.
This drives me crazy.
Or he'll hurt me.
We're not going to let him hurt you.
I can't lift my shoulder, and he's canceling my health insurance.
Why would he cancel her health insurance after hurting her shoulder, Fez?
Because he hates me. Can you believe it?
No, I can't believe it.
We used to be so much in love.
To me, you two were the perfect couple.
Yeah, we were.
All right. There.
I don't know what happened to him with this woman. But she says she'll stay with him. I said to him yesterday, I said, yeah, she's going to want to push a 70-year-old man around in a wheelchair when she's still young.
True.
He's almost there now.
No.
Well, he fights like he's 16, doesn't he?
Oh, he fights. He fights. When he throws punches and he scratches your face, you are out of commission for a while.
He's that good, huh? In the squared circle.
The choking, when he chokes me really hard, I can see stars in front of my eyes, and I know that he's almost there.
Almost ready to kill you.
Almost ready to kill me, and this has gone on. And if you don't remember your last radio show, I mentioned this to you, too.
Yeah, I do. I remember that very well. Something's got to be done about Paul O.
Well, he's out of control, it sounds like.
He is
He's
out of
sick.
control. He's completely out of control.
He's a freak.
And this new woman just seems to have...
You know, part of the times I was embarrassed for him on the radio.
Me too. And I was
embarrassed.
Me too.
And I tried to protect him, but he wouldn't listen to me. I just start screaming at him, get off the phone, you're making a fool of yourself.
Right. I remember that.
Those were the good old days.
Yeah, those were the good old days.
Right. I thought they'd never end.
Yeah.
So what's next for you, Gail? I mean, first of all, you shouldn't let him
live by myself.
Can you sell that house?
Well, yeah, but what do I do with the 4 dogs? I can't use the dog.
I know. She loves those dogs.
I know.
All 4 of them.
They are wonderful dogs.
Mm-hmm.
They're the sweetest little things in the world.
Now, how's Regis?
Regis is just dying.
Yeah.
He tries so hard. Plumpity plump, plumpity plump.
What's that? What's the glumpity glump?
When he walks, he sort of has that kind of, splayed paw thing, and he...
What do the dogs do when Paulo is choking you and punching you? Do they attack him?
Napoleon gets right next to me on the chair and growls at him and goes for him.
Good for Napoleon.
Yeah, Napoleon will Truffles is... She's scared too, but Napoleon, the little darling, He is right up there with me.
Hey, hold on, Gail. Norm is on. He wants to help you. Hey, Norm.
Yeah.
What can we do for you, buddy?
Hey, buds. I got friends. I'm in the appliance business, and I got friends down in Tampa that could probably hook up our stove for her. We'll take care of that.
Would that be okay with you, Gail? He's in the appliance business.
Yes, it would be.
And he knows people.
He knows people that clean too and move.
Well, that's a lot now. He just
No, I could. Yeah, I'm
fix
sure
the
somebody will
stove.
take care of it for you.
Just fix the stove, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, the stove and the oven are broken.
All right, hold on, Norm. I said, there you go. He's going to try to fix the stove in the oven. How's that make you feel?
That makes me feel wonderful.
Yeah, geez. You don't seem too happy today.
A little punchy.
I'm been punched down. I've been told I won't ever have any more money. I've been told to go to hell. I've been told that I've been ugly.
Why would he... Fez, Paulo's your best friend. Why does he act like this?
I don't know. I would have thought there would be some compassion, but there hasn't been.
How does a maniac like this, how can he find joy in the sensitivity of an Elton John song? That's what I don't understand.
I don't understand his frame of mind. I don't understand, but I always knew something was wrong with him.
Right, me too.
I always knew there was something wrong with him. I never ruled out gay, you know that.
No, me neither.
You never can.
So you think he's a woman-hating gay?
Followed. We'd be holding hands in New York, and we would get followed by gay guys.
Right.
And I, of course, had to turn around and scare them out of their mind.
Smart.
But, I mean, he was always, his friends were all gay. You know, one of them we're not sure what he is. One of them blew his brains out with LSD.
Well, we've all done that, honey. Let's not blame that on gayness. All right, so
There's nothing I can say.
Yeah. So
I don't mean to be unhappy.
No, you're not. I mean, you're going through a thing. That's what friends are for. But you were married for 30 years to a gay guy, Elton John fan, who also has anger issues.
Yes. He's a very vicious human being.
I'm picking up on that.
If he gets into an argument with you, you run for cover.
Yeah.
Because you are going to get hurt.
Some of those gay guys can fight.
Well,
I don't blame it on the gayness.
No, he can fight, and he can punch, and he can put you out.
Wow.
I blame it on this other woman because none of this was happening before she came along.
It's this other woman, and I've tried to talk to him about him. I said,
that's his tiny dancer.
Everybody would be okay if you just moved home and acted like the Catholic person that you are and the grown-up men that you're supposed to be.
He's always been a child.
Always been a child.
A gay child.
I mean, he wanted me to get a job at a radio station or a TV because I write, you know, and I speak. I won the Future Business Leaders of America when I was 15. I was state secretary.
Right.
So and
Secretary of State. That is not easy to be.
Right before Cyrus Vance.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, hold on. T-Bone says he'll help you with something. T-Bone.
Hey, I'm in Tampa right now, and I'll help this hominy-headed idiot out with her computer.
I don't like the attitude. I'm going to take you off
Sorry.
there. Because
Sorry about that, but it's true.
I don't think so. Gail, don't listen.
I used to know all the word programs. I used to know how to do everything, but when I took care of my mother-in-law for 6 years, I just didn't use it as much, and I've forgotten.
All you've done is take care of others. And this is the way you're treated now.
Yeah. I wear my dad's ring around my middle finger. I don't know what good it's going to do.
Maybe he'll look over you and protect you next time Paul's choking and punching.
He's always just walks in this house. He's on the phone, right? And I put the phone down and he walks in. So he hasn't been driving and calling me. He wanted to catch me by surprise.
And he
I
just
have to hide things.
and he just leapt out at you and just started swinging. Didn't even ask a question.
Yeah, because I wanted to talk to him about what's been going on, and he wouldn't talk to me, and he started shoving me and then punching me.
He belongs in jail.
And he dragged me from the patio room into the living room.
Here is Dan. Dan, you're on Ron and Fez.
Hi, I'm a veterinarian, and I'd like to help Gail. I could put the dogs to sleep for free of charge.
I wouldn't want that, would you, Gail?
Oh, no, I couldn't put them
No.
to sleep.
That's all you have right now.
That's all I have.
And Napoleon
I would
protects
die.
you.
I would die, really, Ron. And when I talked to my psychiatrist last night, he has a bit of a crush on me, but don't say his name
Never.
on the phone.
Right.
Never.
Okay, because
But a doctor.
last time somebody did, and he wasn't too happy about his professional license or anything.
He was the one that commented that your shirt was open.
Yeah.
He loved that. He loved it.
He has a crush on me a little bit.
Sure, I don't blame him. Now, did he say anything about Paul beating up on you?
Yes, he said that I have to get police reports and a restraining order.
Uh-huh.
And Paul's he's an officer with Falkenberg Academy, and they all just swarm around him and believe everything that he says.
Sure, he's one of them.
The blue wall of silence.
Yeah, what am I going to do? I don't have any defense. He can say whatever he wants.
He's one of them. Yeah. He's always made really good money, though, huh, Paul?
No.
No?
No.
No?
What do you think a police officer makes?
I don't know. What does he make down there in Tampa?
He doesn't even make $21,000.
Not even.
Not even.
He's never in his life made more than $21,000 a year?
No.
Well, then where does all this money come from?
$6 an hour. Well, this money is a line of credit on the house.
Oh, no.
He's going to foreclose the house.
Oh, no.
And I'm really going to need a place to live and be strong enough to... Someone told me how to break into the storage room, but what would I do? Where would I put it?
I don't even know what's going on.
Yeah, mistake number 29.
Yeah. I trusted him with my life.
You offered up your innocence. He handled it with scorn.
And he knows that I was molested as a child by my father, and he knows that my mother left for a year and a half, and what a hellish...
Hey, Gail, you had never told us before about being molested, but why wear the ring of the guy who molested you?
Because I still love him, too.
Oh. You know, so many men in her life have let her down, Fez.
The only ones that haven't are the dogs.
Her dad, Paul, you, Fez.
Me?
Where have you been? You're going to get down there this weekend and get some things done. All right, Gail, we got to go, honey.
I know you do. And if he's listening, you just tell him that I had to call you.
I don't blame you.
But I promise I won't bother you.
Earl, where's Paul hiding from us today? He doesn't want to have to deal with this?
He's with Melon.
Yeah, we tried every number. He's not picking up any of them.
He's with his new girlfriend.
I have her phone number.
Do you have the same one, Earl?
So no, I have 310.
Hold on, honey. Don't say that. Do you have the same number as her?
That one I don't have, no.
All right, hold on. I'll put you on hold. Get that number off her. Maybe we can reach Paul over there. Well, you boys, I'm talking with the Hideout boys, J-Dubs and Hefe are here. Maybe you could get over there, and I don't know, maybe kill Polo or something.
Well, if he's beating up on her like that, like she says.
Of course she is.
Do it for $56. Is that what she said she had?
That's what she says she has now. But then, I know that she went through a couple $100,000, but I didn't know that Paul already had thing out on the house.
No, I didn't know that either. I thought that was like from her parents or something. I thought that was some inheritance that she went through.
I think the inheritance money is already gone. And now Paulo's trying to roll that house over.
That's the next step.
That's his little gimmick. He turned into a mad dog. A mad dog, I tell you.
He's gone from not being able to stand up to her to doing nothing but just going the other way with her.
Maybe he's been lying to us all these years. These so many years. Any luck getting a hold of him?
It's a busy signal.
All right, Gail O, he's hiding from us today.
He's hiding from you today.
Yeah.
And he hasn't been telling you truth for 10 years.
At least.
So anyway, I'll let you guys go. You take care of yourself.
You take care of yourself.
Okay.
And do me a favor, please eat something.
I'll try.
We're all worried about you.
Well, I can be twiggy now.
Oh, that's... You know what? The whole bulimic thing, I know Hefe is into it.
Bulimic.
No. But you're saying you're not eating.
No, I can't. I walk into the kitchen and the cockroaches swarm all over me.
Oh.
There's an animal in the attic that keeps crawling around and falling in the middle of the night.
Maybe it's Paul.
What is that animal? Do you know?
No. One time it was a rat. One time it was another thing.
It takes different forms.
I live kind of in hell, and I've been so overwhelmed that I try to clean the kitchen and the bathroom, but all the rooms are not okay.
No.
You know, I can't do it.
Well, maybe Paul can help.
No, he won't help. That's his number one. That's his number one joy.
Do me a favor, rip him in this book, would you please? Expose him for what he really is.
He doesn't seem to care because of this woman, Melanie. She is... Don told me the movie was a farce.
Yeah.
And
who's done?
She only really had anything to do with him because of it.
Yeah, once he started directing that movie. Dubs, this is so much like your story. Did you ever see the guy that your chick's with now?
No.
Do you even want to or no?
No, I'm not interested in that.
What if it's the same person? What if it's Melly? All right.
I'd love to know who she is.
Yeah, you've never seen her?
No, I've never seen her.
From what I understand, she's beautiful.
She is.
Yeah, that's what they say.
That's Paulo. He's always got an eye for the beauties.
Yeah, not me anymore.
Well, you were back in your day, right?
Yeah, but now nobody's going to look at me now.
What about your psychiatrist?
Oh, please. He's married and has children and grandchildren.
Really?
Yes.
Maybe
There's nobody out here for me, especially in Florida. I'm not going to meet anybody. I'm going to die in this house.
What about a singles cruise?
Cruise? I can't afford a cruise.
Fez?
What?
Double date singles cruise?
I am not taking her on a cruise.
Sounds like she needs a road trip, and so do you.
Lost at sea for 7 days with Mrs. Paulo.
All right, Gail, we'll talk to you later.
Okay, I'm sorry, Fez. Okay, bye.
You don't have to apologize to me.
Oh,
Where'd she go? Where'd she go? Where is she?
Why would you do that? You know, as bad as she gets, she always remembers what time the show goes on. But today's the first day I thought she was medicated since Paul left her.
Yeah, usually she's been a lot more fired up.
Yeah.
Like Paul kept her
and
down
clear.
out.
And clear.
Where she knew exactly what was getting her upset. This just sounds like the Paulo's wife that used to call.
No, that's the every 8th time Paulo's wife. The 7th she would be just screaming. Somewhere, we don't have the kind of production team to keep this together, but somewhere we got all these old bits of her screaming. We used to have to dump out on her on regular radio all the time. But did you guys, and you guys have known Paul too, did you ever once think that he would end up leaving her, though?
No. He put up with so much stuff for so long of her, just punching him while he was on the phone and everything. I figured there's no way.
I got to spend some quality time once picking him up from an airport and bringing him over to the station.
Yeah.
And he seemed like just an incredibly beaten man.
He was.
It was never any hope of him. And he also stunk a little bit, but that's neither
He
here nor
stinks
there.
bad.
Yeah.
But here's the thing for Paul. And his spinach, the thing that gave him power was pussy. And I think it happens that way for most guys. You know, they're always going, why do you dump your old wife and go for the younger one? And you don't want to say, 'cause it's better. But there's got to be a word so that they'll understand.
He never would have tried this unless there was something else to go to.
When I see an older man with an older woman, it just seems hideous to me. It seems like, what happened? Haven't you done anything with your life? It's like watching a guy driving around in an old beat-up car. It doesn't make sense. Now, Dubs, are you dating again?
I'm out there looking around. I've been seeing a few people, but nothing
People,
too serious.
Not even all women.
Yeah, there's
when you say people. So is this better for you yet?
Yeah. I was down for a little bit, but now it's actually working out.
Hefe, were you the good friend when he was down, or were you doing the I told you so?
I like to think I can balance it really well. I always knew she wasn't for you, but I can be here if you need to stay with me.
See, I don't think there's a balance. I think once the I told you so's out, you've gone that direction.
What, the I told you so?
Yeah.
Yeah, but it does feel good to know, especially when after years you're finally proven right. Well, look at what pussy finally fucking called us back. Hey, Paul.
Yes, sir.
Where were you hiding? She just did a half an hour with us.
I wasn't aware that she was going to do a half an hour, and, you know...
You beat her and choked her?
You see, I got to tell you, things are getting really out of control with her. She's really lost her mind, because I really thought I was going to help her. You know, I thought I was going to try and help her dealing with her problems, even though I can't handle her anymore.
Right.
But she's using every ability she can now to try and control me and get me back.
You got to go back. You got to do the right thing.
So what she's basically doing is using every kind of emotional and blackmail that she can. Now, you know what she just did over last week? She removed all the money out of the home equity account that I was, you know, using to pay all of her credit card bills.
Where did that money go?
She hasn't told me yet.
Yeah. She said you moved that money.
Well, but that's the point. Her whole life has been one endless lie, and I've been trying to deal with it all these years.
What is going to happen to you now? You're not going to be able to pay off these debts, right?
I don't know what's going to happen.
I mean, the house is going to get taken, right?
Yeah, and I'm not going to pay any of the bills because, you know, I'm letting her live there, and, you know. So she's basically doesn't, and unfortunately, not only does she lie constantly, but she doesn't understand what you say to her. So there's, like, no level of communication because everything she says is a lie.
Why would you punch her and choke her and hurt her shoulder?
But that's the point. She's lying about everything. She never, I mean, she's like, I don't want to compare it to anybody because I know there's someone I
He won't deny that he didn't do it.
So what are you talking about? I'm saying that I didn't do it. I'm saying that everything she says is a lie. That's the point. In other words, I've been trying in my gullible, stupid, naive fashion to help her, and then, you know, she'll be real nice to me to my face, and then lie to me, you know, behind my back constantly and do these things behind my back. That's why I'm so trusting. I mean, I leave the money there, and then she goes in and takes it. Because I never expect these things because I figure, well, she's, you know, being so nice to my face.
All right, now who did she say told her that the movie was a lie?
Don.
All right, do you know who Don is? Is that critter?
Yeah, well, and then, you know, that's the other thing. I said to her, well, what is this? You're saying that somebody, and she'll do that. She'll say, oh, well, I'm talking to all these people, and I know all these things. And I say, well, who are you talking to? The only person you can be talking to is Don. Because, there's no one else who has an interest in trying to subvert and sabotage. And she says, I'm not telling you. And no, it's a whole bunch of people. And, she'll be doing things like this all the time.
Now, Paulo, the film anthology people are going to yank out if you can't come up with a film. They want to see it now. Is that right, Earl?
Yes, they want to see a print of the film.
Why can't we just show it sight unseen?
Well, first of all, I have no problem, and I'm not concerned at all about the film anthology people. I'm going to have the film ready. I'm going to have a basic rough edit this week, actually, and then I'm coming up for the weekend of the Oscars, and I guess the Big Ass Show. I'm trying to commit to that today.
All right, what stunt are you going to be doing at the Big Ass Bash?
Well, sir, I just told you just a second ago that I'd probably be able to make the show, and we hadn't had any discussions at this point about what's done.
But you need some kind of publicity to kick off the hype right now for Gap.
Young director does this.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, if I remember correctly, Yui Bowl wanted to fight a bunch of critics, but that's because he had put out a bunch of crappy movies, and all the critics attacked him, and then he fought the critics literally in the ring. But, I mean, obviously I had no intention or thought of doing a stunt, because obviously I've done that over the years, and I thought I could put all that behind me. But,
no, I don't think so, Paul.
Of course not.
I think it's time to knock the city on its ass. You got ran out of New York a long time ago. New York laughed in your face. You left a failure. You went down. You abused the woman for 30 years. You sucked her dry. Now it's your chance. This is your Rocky Balboa, where you come back and try to do something big.
Well, I actually have a lot of filming to do. Not a lot of filming, but there's a couple of shots that we're supposed to do Saturday morning. So I don't think drinking in an enormous amount is a good idea. So,
That's not for you.
Yeah.
And usually I pukey.
Right, we can't have that happen, too, because it's a restaurant.
Yeah, exactly. So,
what about this? You come back with, we'll fly Gail up, and we'll play the newlywed game with the two of you, and just see how well you know each other.
In all honesty, as I said, I'm a gullible, naive person, and I had every intention of helping her every step of the way, because, we already know that she's got mental problems, and I felt better.
You claim that you never hit her?
No.
And you didn't choke her?
No.
And there's no reason that her shoulder should hurt?
The shoulder hurt because she dived off a stepladder trying to get drugs I had hidden from her.
Well, that was a long time ago, right?
Well, it was like 6 months ago. She did two shoulders. She did one shoulder years ago when she was wandering around the house in a daze, and when I tried to find out what was going on, she keeled backwards.
Right. Hey, Gail?
Yeah. Yes?
He's on saying that you never did get hurt over the weekend.
Yeah, he did hurt me last night. He punched me around. He wanted to get me out of the patio room. He pushed me up the stair, and I fell. And then he slapped me, and he punched me and told me to stay there and not move.
But you do realize, Gail, that all you do is try, and now I'm not going to pay any of the bills because you have all the money now because you're taking it out of the account.
That's not what you said this morning.
This morning? I haven't talked to you this morning. I've been asleep.
Who took the money out of the accounts? Did Gail take it out or Paul?
Well, both of them did. He took $7,000, then he took $3,000, then he took a $20,000 credit on his own line of credit, and he was still draining the line of credit that I signed for. And my lawyer told me that I had to take it all out. I can't spend it, but I had to take it all out of the bank before he completely deteriorated the money. And I told him I would talk with him, and we could talk to the lawyer, and we could make some kind of plans. But he's
Ron, I'm going to need a minute here.
Doing that.
Okay.
First of all, what she doesn't, and this is what I keep trying to tell her. When I found out about this a few days ago, I told her, listen, Gail, the problem that you don't seem to understand is you spent another $5,000 last month, and you spent a few thousand the month before that.
$5,000.
Yeah, yes, that's the point. You don't understand what you're doing.
No, it's not $5,000, Paul.
You don't understand what you're doing. You're constantly doing things and then not admitting them and lying about them.
You guys, I don't want to talk to him. All he's going to do is lie and make excuses for himself.
You know all about lies.
Paul, why do you have to be like that? Why do you got to attack her?
I'm not trying to because I'm done with her. After she took that money out, she doesn't realize.
You won't give me any money. You won't let me get my prescription. I have a broken arm you won't fix. You're taking me off your health insurance?
Am I the only one that sees that you two are in love? That this is all about love?
It is about love.
Thank you.
It is about love. But he won't leave that woman.
It is about love. That's why you do everything you can to destroy me.
No, Paul, that's not true. I started to get wise to what you were doing to me.
Now I'm done with that.
Hey,
Paul.
Yes.
Paul, I have to have somebody to protect me. I'm all out there, all on my own. I
You don't
can't afford
understand.
anything.
I was going to try and help you and
You were going to try to help me the way
but I
you
can't.
threatened me
But 30
2
years
weeks
of your
ago.
lies, I can't take it anymore.
Can't you move in with you and your girlfriend?
You know what, Paul? You can afford to give me money if you wanted to. You could mail it to me. But you refused to help in any way.
No,
send her some money.
I'm going to die in this house.
You just took all the money.
Well, Paul, you know
took it
what? I told you about that money, and I told you why I did it. Because you were withdrawing large amounts from the bank.
It's going to be a problem, because now I won't be able to pay the bill.
That's not true, Paul.
No, it's not true. You took $30,000 that I was trying to keep everything current. All your
I
credit
did it
card
at
bills.
my lawyer's advice. Because
Your lawyer doesn't know anything, so
Well,
I need to go
then
sit down
if you're
with him
willing
and
to go
explain
with
his
me,
client is a fool.
If you're willing to go with
Paul.
me on Monday morning to the
This is
bank,
Monday
we'll
morning.
see what we could do, or see
What?
Jessica.
Next Monday. Next Monday.
No, I think she means like she's thinking
Today?
Saturday. Yeah.
Do you want to go? Do you want to go this morning then, Paul? Can you be
she's
ready
got-
by 7 this morning?
Yeah, 7 this morning will be fine.
All right. Are those the dogs, Gail?
Yes.
They sound lovely.
Well, they sound noisy, but
Right.
they're my babies.
I think they corner whatever's in the
You
attic.
do realize, Gail, that was the final straw that broke the camel's back.
Is it
You know-
Paul, or was it the affair?
No.
It was the affair.
Thank you.
He moved out of the house. I knew there was something wrong with him for months and months and months, and I kept asking him.
When did the affair start, Paul?
Why are you guys torturing me?
I'm just wondering.
You know full well that I have been through this for years, and you know that her craziness was something I was dealing with. It was the money that was holding me together. Now that the money is gone, I don't have any more
He seems to think that the financial problems give me a right. It gives him a right to have an affair and live with another woman.
True.
What about the gay rumors?
The problems give me a right to say goodbye because you're crazy and you're finally trying to kill me.
All right, Paul. When you were younger, didn't gays used to follow you around thinking that you were gay?
Why is this coming up?
It's something.
It's in the book.
People have said it.
People said it. Did that happen?
Who's people?
I'm not saying that, gays don't like me, but that's not because I like them.
Napoleon!
You named the dog after Paul.
Napoleon.
We named the dogs after various
Not
kinds
Paul
of
Ann.
pastries and chocolates. There's Truffles, Napoleon, Eclair,
See?
and Regis. Well,
Hey, why didn't you two ever have your own children?
because early in the marriage,
He said that
I was
if I
aware
had
she
a
was crazy.
child, he'd leave me.
No, you said that, Paul?
Yes,
I
he
said
said
early
that.
in the marriage I was aware that she was crazy. She lied.
Oh,
from the
yeah,
very
back in 1987.
She lied within the first weeks of her
Appetite for destruction?
I can't take this. I've got somebody
Don't forget,
here
you
doing
lied about
something.
dying of cancer.
Yeah, I had ovarian cancer, and you can't
Ovarian,
still
so
get
how could you have
pregnant
kids?
having ovarian
True.
cancer.
Gail, who's there with you?
The dogs.
And that's it?
Yeah.
I thought I heard a man's voice.
Well, he was here for a minute, but he left.
Who was that? A young gentleman caller?
No, not a young gentleman caller, just somebody that wanted to talk to me.
Oh.
Ooh. Anyway, Gail, you're torturing us. I was really having high hopes I was going to help you, but nobody's going to want to help you
I can't take this
anymore.
conversation, Paul, because
You're
you
the one
are
who called the show this
full
morning.
and total child, and you lie like one. And
True.
I
I don't
wouldn't
know.
trust you again if you begged me.
And
Now, Ron, I have to go.
Okay,
because I've got something
Okay,
here.
Ron.
But,
Good show.
you just let him run
I will.
me down to him,
All right.
and I'm sure it'll be worked out.
All right.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
Bye, Gail O.
All right.
Hey, Paulo?
Yes. her.
If you ever get in front of a judge or a jury with that woman, they will string you up. You are going to look like a maniac. It's going to look like all your fault. She hits that he forced me into the abortions. I had to catch a train back. He wouldn't even pick me up. They are going to destroy you.
Well, you know, she's already done that.
And Paul, here's the other thing that really gets on my nerves.
Yeah.
All those years that fucking father-in-law of yours used to yell at you when we were on the phone with you.
Yeah.
He molested her when she was younger?
Well, this is all coming out. I mean, I've always asked her over the years, what's going on? But now, you know, with the trauma of me leaving her, all of this is starting to flood out.
Oh, so you had never heard that story before?
No. And, you know, it's my feeling that there's a very good possibility it's just a lie, a manipulation of the doctor.
You know what? All you abusers say the same thing. All you abusers say the same thing. She's crazy.
Well, in any case...
You're Fuzzy Sedgwick. That's the way I see it right now.
This is all news to me, sir. And I mean, obviously, this is very traumatic for the listeners, and I feel bad for the listeners that have to be exposed to this. And you know, I'm done. I mean, I Paul O.
You're going to give her one more chance?
No.
Please.
Now, I saw your post on ronfez.net. Is it better to be an asshole or a pussy? What did you decide? Now you're being an asshole?
Well, I have been a pussy over the years. That's the whole point. That's the whole problem. Now, the only way I can survive is to be an asshole, but I'm not even successful at that. I'm a failure as trying to be an asshole because she got me again. She you know, I'm stupid enough to believe she would you know, let me try and handle things the right way. So she just stole all the money. So now I'm a pussy again. A pussy and a dumbass. I'm screwed. I mean, is this the end of Paulo? I think so.
I don't think so, Paul. I think you're going to do just fine.
I don't know. I mean, I'm trying to be happy, and you know, here I am, stabbed in the back yet again. I don't know what to do. But everything she says is a lie. I don't even know. And you know, the stupid thing is listening to her lies for 30 years. I'm still stupid enough to believe her sometimes. What I should really just say, everything that comes out of her mouth is a lie.
Now, how's Melly doing? Are we going to get to meet her?
Well, you know, frankly, we're very happy. But I mean, the fact is that dealing with Gail is really ridiculous. I mean, actually, when the police did come by a few days ago, and when I was trying to talk to her, and they were talking to her, and they were saying, well, why do you have all these scratches on her back? I mean, we could have had her arrested then, and I said, listen, she used to scratch my arm up and down when I was driving her places. I mean, literally, my arm would be a mass of
You're just driving, and she's scratching.
He's got McFoley arm.
I like her to work on my back a little bit. I can never get it dug in enough for me.
I mean, and so I would tell them, I said, listen, you know, we know she has mental illnesses. You know she's been Baker acted 50 times or more. I mean, I'm trying to help her. I mean, but there's nothing we can do. I mean,
every time that she was Baker acted, was that like just a 3-day vacation for you? Was it just great?
No, because, you know,
you'd have to visit?
For years and years, yeah, I'd visit, and I'd say, and she would basically say immediately, all right, this is what we got to do to get me out of here. And I would go along with it.
Hey, is the sex with Melly just unbelievable?
So, as you know, we haven't had sex really for years. So, I mean, you know, because of the dryness issue.
Right. With Mrs. O, yeah.
Yeah, so, and
she's got a lot of nerve calling herself Mrs. O.
Yeah, exactly. There was a whole... But
could have been the wrong hole.
The issue, the issue has always, it's the pussy asshole thing, but I mean, the issue was always simply that I put out of my mind all the misery. And
You know what? El Jefe actually wrote, his eyebrow went up at one point. You remember this, Jefe? When Paulo said when the money was going, then it wasn't worth it anymore.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, it just seems like now that he's completely drained her, he's got the new poon on the side.
Yeah.
It just absolutely no thought or concern at all for another human being that you poured 30 years into.
What I hate, J-Dubs, is the Gail O in his relationship.
Yeah. Tell me about it.
Well, I'd be very, very interested if Gail O has, some admirers out there who would like to...
Apparently there's a grandpa psychiatrist that likes her a lot. All right, hold on. Mark wants to ask you a question. Hey, Mark, you're on Ron and Fez.
Hey, I just wanted to say that Paul seems to be lying about this money because when he first called in, he said that he was only spending the money to pay her bills, but now he's talking about, is this the end of Paul O? So which is it? Is he spending it for himself or paying her bills with it?
No.
Well, obviously, the point being is that I'm trying to see if I can get a new infusion of cash.
Paulo, you've never made more than $6 an hour in your life, right?
No, that's not true, sir.
You just
at all.
told us you've never made more than 21 grand. $6 an hour is your highest.
She's a liar. Everything she says is a lie. I'm an officer of the law. Do they make $6 an hour? But anything.
I don't know. I mean, it's not like you're out riding around in a patrol car. You're watching kids sleep.
It's
nice.
It's still considered like a detention type officer. In any case, the issue about me, where was I? Paying the bills is obviously I was trying to keep all the credit cards current so we don't have any credit problems. And now that she's taken it out of the equity account, that has to be paid as well.
Remember this time it came up that they were looking through stuff like kid touching at Paul's work, and he would not talk. He would not rat. Remember that, Paul?
What? No. Quite frankly,
You said you would never rat, no matter what you saw.
No matter what you knew, you weren't going to rat out the other detention officers.
Well, thankfully, I've never experienced anyone who has displayed any kind of perversion or any kind of
But if you did, would you rat?
I would have to say that, if it had to do with any sexual misconduct, I would definitely do that, absolutely.
What about just punching?
Well, the issue has to be that the way I deal with the kids is very simple. I have large size, and I tend to talk to them face to face. And if they choose to attack me, I can handle it fairly easily. But unfortunately, I'm aware, and I don't see any of this. But you do become aware of the fact that a lot of the guys are very aggressive as a matter of course, and they kind of have the latitude to do that because if the kids don't follow certain rules, then they're allowed to proceed to, bring them down and subdue them.
And he wonders where the gay rumors come from.
I know.
Oh, well, anyway, as I say,
have you ever used any of your training on Gail O to subdue her?
Well,
is that where the choking comes in?
What happens is over the years she's so hostile, so angry, so out of control. And as you can probably tell from that phone call, she's back to drinking and mixing the pills again. What happens is she gets to be, not only does she lie consistently, but she tends to attack you and hit you and scratch you and things like that. So usually what you have to do is defensive action.
You're Howard K. Stern. That's who you are right now.
I could only wish to be so lucky.
All right. Hey, Bobo's on the line for you. Hey, Bobo.
Hiya, buddies.
Hey.
Paul keeps addressing this issue of pussy or asshole. I wanted to suggest he go up the middle and just consider himself the taint.
Paul?
I'm not sure where I am anymore. I literally don't know if I'm going to exist soon, but all I can tell you is that the one person in all of this who truly has done this with a good heart is Melly.
Yes, sure. The new girl's always the best.
She's just an angel.
Oh, I mean,
she
came
is
into this knowing
like an angel from heaven.
She knew that, and that was a phrase I used with Gail.
She's so smart, and what a good artist she is. That we always think that about the new girls. Oh, she's brilliant. Did you hear her play the folk guitar? She's amazing.
And what a kind person.
This weekend we're rollerblading.
Guess what Melly offered last night on the RonFez.net chat room?
Pee in her butt?
No, that's pretty common, but she offered for me to sleep over in their hotel room when they come to visit, and we'd all have a menage a trois.
Actually, please, Bobo, we're all having fun on the chat room, and we just have fun.
I am so disgusted.
No, I mean, I know full well, and her and Sheepy are really a problem. That's the big problem.
Yeah, watch her around Sheepy.
Yeah, because Sheepy and her have this, definite thing. So I'm going to be like, he thinks I'm mad at him. Sheepy, but I mean, Sheepy's obviously a very...
Why don't you fight Sheepy at the Big Ass Bash?
Because Sheepy's so worried that I'm mad at him. I really am concerned about the kid, and I don't want him to be upset in any way.
Hey, Gary's got a question for Paulo. Go ahead, Gary.
Hey, how you doing, Ronnie?
Good, man.
You know, I can say I think Paulo's completely lying about hurting Gail O. You know, because when y'all you can play back the audio. When you first asked him whether he hit Gail or hurt Gail, he completely hesitated and goes, well, the point.
That's not what I'm doing. You don't understand. After 30 years of constant lies, you become numb to them. You just don't even hear them anymore. You just say, whatever, yeah, right. That's par for the course. That's what she's going to do, basically lie. So basically, I just accept everything that she's just going to be coming out with a load of crap.
When a judge asks you, did you hurt her, you're going to go, no point?
Well, first of all, I don't think I'll make it to that point because she's so out to destroy me. And she's been, you see, this passive-aggressive destructiveness that she has been over the years.
I haven't seen any of the passive. I've only seen the destructive. I've only seen the aggressive.
Well, the passive part comes when I'm around. You know, she's trying to get on my good side. She'll try and pretend that, like, you know, everything's wonderful and everything else, and then she'll be stabbing me in the back while she's...
Hey, Clink, you're on Ron and Fez.
Hey, this is Twinkie.
Yeah, go ahead, buddy.
Hey, listen, buddies, Bruno Kirby's working on this project with you, right, Paul?
Yes.
Yeah, you ought to take him to the Big Ass Bash because he'd be an easy guy to beat since he's been dead since August.
Yeah, it's obviously not the same Bruno Kirby, but I mean the point is that it is a guy whose nickname is Bruno Kirby, and
Bruno Kirby never defends this film, Fezzy. He never sticks up for the film. He claims he's too busy during the daytime to talk.
And
you're going to lose this thing that we set up for you.
First of all, he called both the Free FM show and this show and was told, we don't have time now. And so
by who?
By the phone guys. I mean, you know, I said to him...
Is this true, Earl?
Honestly, it's the first time hearing about it.
Well, I didn't say he talked to Earl. I'm just saying that he was a little upset. But I said, no, but you know...
No, hell no. Hell no. You have gone crazy now, Paulie. When did this happen?
About a week or two ago. I can't remember exactly, but he was...
Here's what to do.
Didn't happen to me.
Put on Bruno Kirby anytime that he calls.
Absolutely. I didn't talk to the man. Maybe someone else did, but...
All right, so if you don't know that for a fact...
He has been a little concerned about calling the show and talking to anyone, but he was very...
He's concerned. He thinks he has a funny voice. And he hates his... Funny. Yeah, he says he hates his voice on the air.
Well, but he was...
Well, call anyway.
But that's the point. He geared up to call, and the Free FM people said, "Oh no, call tomorrow because we're not talking about that on this show." And then when he called the next day, they said, "No, we don't."
Ryder, you got to fucking seriously. You got to meet me halfway, brother.
No, this did not happen. Bruno Kirby's straight out lying because I just talked to the only other person who could answer the phone calls. His name is Nosferatu. He says no, and then Pitsy says this never happened either. So now we have a liar named Bruno Kirby. It's not funny, Paulo.
And didn't Bruno Kirby give you the runaround about an apartment?
He gave me a runaround. I was supposed to be living in Brooklyn for $750 a month. I get into Brooklyn, all of a sudden he says, "Rada, you gotta pay $1,200 large." I said, "I got one more silver dollar. I can't pay $1,200. Bruno, stop the lying, Ronnie B.
And the other thing is, now that I have no money and I'm committing to coming up to New York, I'm going to have to stay with the listeners.
Why do you have no money? You make $6 an hour.
That's not the point. The point is that there's $30,000 in credit card bills that I'm still having to pay. That was the whole point. So, I mean, it's all very...
I thought you weren't going to pay off the credit cards. You said, come take the house.
Yeah, well, I don't want that to happen. That wasn't my plan.
You know what's going to happen, though, right?
That's going to wind up happening now.
I'm sure there's listeners you can stay with, and at the very least, stay with Fezzy. He'd love to have you.
Yeah,
I don't think there's room.
That was the fallback, I think.
Fezzy will be the fallback. Well, we got to figure out a stunt for you, Paul.
All right, well, let me know.
Hey, Paul, I have a suggestion.
Yes.
Why don't you get a gun and at the bash, shoot me in the arm as like a tribute to Chris Burton, the great performance artist?
Well, there was a great bit that Daffy Duck did when he was fighting with...
The Legends.
Bugs Bunny, and they were in this heavy competition on stage, and finally Daffy did this enormous trick.
I remember this episode. It was great.
Amazing. And Bugs said, that was just the best. You won. It was incredible. And he says, the only problem is you can only do it once. And then he flew in angel wings to heaven.
All right, boys. What a nightmare. Talk to you later. Now, is this the kind of shit you guys are going to be doing on Next?
I hope.
Just let a phone call go on for an hour and a half?
Oh, the beauty.
Tonight you start, boys.
Tonight at 10.
Do you know what the show is already? What are the big 10 top stories?
Not sure yet.
Yeah.
We have a rough idea of a bunch of stories, but we have no idea where we're going to place them.
Yeah, 5 yet?
Oh, we were hoping you guys would go through some stories and we just kind of...
Absolutely. Now, have you gone over and seen the studio you're working out of?
Not yet. We're heading over there right after this.
They're going to try to stick you in the little one. Take the big one. You feel like a fucking $1 million in the big one.
Okay.
The big one is gorgeous. The little one looks like any rock fucking studio you've ever seen. The big one looks like that movie Talk Radio. Did you ever see that?
Oh,
It's got a big picture window. It's a gigantic studio. It's a real place to have a nervous breakdown.
If I can smoke in there like Talk Radio, too, I'll be...
Go ahead and up yourself. I don't think any mind's that.
It's big enough.
No one minds that at all.
Yeah, tell them you want the studio with the view.
We're going to take a break here. You guys going to hang out or you got to go? What do you need to do?
We probably should go. We'd like to hang out later on in the week, though.
You can hang out anytime here. You can stop by Free FM any night, too. Best of luck to you, boys.
Thank you. Appreciate the support.
J-Dubs, El Jefe, on Free FM tonight, which I think you can hear online at 10 o'clock Eastern Standard Time. Right back, Ron and Fez.
Ron and Fez, XM 202.
Back with the Ron and Fez show on a Monday, 866-RON-0-FEZ. That's 866-766-0339. Or you can always email us at ronandfez@aol.com. Ronnie, they keep on the news, they keep showing the videotape of the parachutists. I guess this is the woman in Belgium whose chute didn't open. They were blaming someone in a love triangle with her for sabotaging her chute. It's the videotape from her helmet cam as she plummets to the earth. And they're showing this whole thing as she's headed down. And basically, the camera just goes out as she hits.
Why was she twirling?
I don't know. It's like she got into a spin.
So something, the chute must have went out, right?
I know, like, the first chute malfunctioned and then the second one malfunctioned. So
something had to make her go in circles. You wouldn't do that if you just fell on your own.
Right, because you would just be free falling, I would think, straight to the earth. So, yeah, something must have caught there where it, like, came out but didn't deploy. So she's just spinning her entire way down. They've showed this a few times. I have such a headache and I'm ready to puke now just from watching her spin all the way down to the planet. It's just brutal to watch.
It's a totally different jumper. It's just
it's different?
It's not the same person in Love Triangle. It's just a new jumper who...
I thought he made it.
Yeah, he did make it. His thing happened to not work, but he crash-landed some trees.
Yeah, because it said he landed in trees, and you see him hitting trees.
Oh, I didn't know there was another one whose chute didn't open. I assumed it was this one, because I know they had a...
Well, the chute opened, right, in this... in this, right, Ryder?
No, the chute had a malfunction as well.
But how was he be able to hit the trees so easily? It didn't seem like he was hitting that fast.
It did partially open, but it wasn't, the exact. It wasn't.
Were all those calls to correct this, and then
they're all correcting, yeah.
To correct Fez.
We're the Prep Boys. Remember they used to have the Pep Boys? Are they still out there? We can change our name to the Prep Boys.
So this videotape, if you see this thing and you have any sort of vertigo or anything, I would suggest looking away. Because I'm still nauseous from it. Let's see here. Anna Nicole Smith's husband, Howard K. Stern, he now has the 5-month-old baby, Danny Lynn Smith, and is holed up in the Bahamas mansion, as I guess we're still waiting to find out exactly who the father of this kid is. So far, there's Howard K. Stern, who says he's the father. There's also Larry Burkhart, the California photographer, who's claiming paternity. Zsa Zsa Gabor's husband. And now the latest rumor is this baby is the product of her husband, Howard Marshall's sperm, his frozen sperm, from when she was married before to the billionaire. So that's where we stand right now with the Anna Nicole Smith situation.
I just got to think from Wiki. Now they want us in at 7:45 a.m. midweek. That is early. We got to do some kind of wacky shoot. We're not allowed to talk about it. That's a little early for me.
Especially for a shoot.
For anything.
Yeah, especially if there's any sort of preparation where if I don't, my face getting right out of bed, that's not going to be a good look for anybody. Yesterday, hundreds of congregations across the country, they were observing Evolution Sunday. That's to stand up to fundamentalists that say Christians must believe in creationism. So I had never heard of this movement before, but it's people that believe in God, but also believe in evolution.
Whoever said that anyone who believed in evolution didn't believe in God?
I think that's the fundamentalists, where it's like you have to take the Bible at its word.
There's a big difference between the Bible and God. You act like there's only one God. There's a lot of different religions out there.
Right. Well, these are Christians that believe in the Bible, but they're just not taking it literally.
Well, there's been at no point did the Catholic Church ever say that they don't believe in evolution.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah, I never heard the Pope come out against evolution. Am I wrong about that, Ryder?
No, you're not wrong about that. 100% accurate.
So that was going on in churches across the country. There's a Texas bodybuilder who's involved in a legal battle with Pat Robertson, the evangelist.
Yeah.
And now he's claiming that Pat Robertson has threatened to kill him and his family.
What for?
For suing Pat Robertson. The guy suing him because Pat Robertson has these like Pat Robertson shakes out that he says leads to a really long life. They'll lengthen your lifespan. And he's been using this guy's picture.
If you believe in Jesus in heaven, right?
Right.
Why do you want to lengthen your lifespan? Why do you want to stay elderly? To me, it sounds like the people that would want to live to be elderly don't necessarily believe in God. I don't know if you would think and honestly believe that you had a better day ahead of you once you died. Why would you want to sit there and be 94?
Because Pat Robertson, for whatever reason, associates death with sin. Like anyone who gets knocked out by a tsunami or any other natural disaster, that's God punishing people with death. And almost like you're a bad person if you die. That's in Pat Robertson's mind.
866-766-0339. It's the Ron and Fez Show. 866-RON-0-FEZ.
The military and FBI officials have met with the producers of 24 to tell them that their torture scenes in the show have been encouraging abuses in Iraq.
So the big problem in Iraq right now is the guys are watching TV shows and acting like it?
Yeah, that says where it makes it, if they see it on 24, then they're going to think it's all right to do in real life during interrogations with Iraqis and insurgents.
That's a stretch for me.
I think it's given a little bit too much credit to the show 24.
It is a popular show, though. The kids sure seem to love it. James, you're on Ron and Fez.
Yeah, hi. One thing that they're not mentioning about the argument of creation versus evolution is adaptation, which is a form of evolution itself, because if a species has to adapt to survive, it is evolving to, survival of the fittest.
All right.
Okay. So that right there makes the law of evolution the possibility, but in order to do that, it has to be created. So these things kind of go hand in hand. You follow me?
Yeah, I'm with you. So,
okay.
So these people are just saying you can have religion, you can have faith, and science as well.
Absolutely. But the theory of adaptation is what ties the both of them together.
All right, thanks for the call, James.
Okay.
866 Ron Zero Fez. 866 Ron Zero Fez.
Sundays, really no football yesterday at all. So Saturday was the Pro Bowl, the AFC one.
866 Ron Zero Fez. 866 Ron Zero Fez. Hey, I saw a thing on ronfez.net, Earl. I think it was GVAC. Matter of fact, now I think I'm positive that it was GVAC. And the basic premise of his post was, what albums do you go back and rediscover? At what point do you say to yourself, I'm going to go back and listen to an album that maybe I listened to at a different time in my life and kind of get it all over again? And I thought it was a pretty cool post because I've done that many times. I think the ones that he used was the first three Dire Straits. And what is the Dire Straits with the Sultans of Swing on it?
That, I believe, is the self-titled one.
I've gone over that one, too, quite a few times. You got any CDs like that, Earl, that you just rediscovered time and time again?
For me, because I only knew them from hits, but I would go back to listen to Bill Withers' albums.
Yeah, but there's got to be one album that you go back to yourself, out of your life, and you rediscover. 866 Ron Zero Fez. 866 Ron Zero Fez. We'll open up the phone lines. I'll give you one for me, too. And actually, there's two in this. It's Pink Floyd, it's Dark Side of the Moon, and Wish You Were Here. Now, I'll burn out on those albums. And then a couple of years will go by, I'll end up listening to the album again. And it's almost like it's the first time where I go, that's fucking brilliant. And I go back and re-listen to it. I got another one like that, Astral Weeks, Van Morrison, where years will go by in my life. And then I'll sit down and go, I can't deal with it anymore. You know what I mean? Like, that's the reason I give it up. 5-6 years will go by, I'll put that fucking album on and I'll go, how the hell could anyone even write that? It's so brilliant.
I'm always rediscovering Sticky Fingers by the Rolling Stones.
Yeah.
It's an album that I don't listen to for like 6 or 7 years, and I'm not just talking, it's got brown sugar on it.
Right.
But then you're like, Moonlight Mile is maybe the greatest song the Stones ever wrote. Why do people not play that on the radio 24/7?
That is also true if you go over, let's say, the first two Doors albums, where you'll hear, to this day, you'll still hear Doors songs. And yet, there are shit on those first two albums, and you can even go deeper, that you're like, this fucking thing is ready for the radio still. Why doesn't it get played? I guess the radio can only pick so many, but those perfect songs that they mean different things to you at different times of your life.
Oh, yeah, the Doors is a perfect example. I mean, Soul Kitchen should be played on the radio constantly.
Yeah.
I mean, we love Light My Fire, but please, mix it up.
We've lit our fires. Our fires have been lit. There's other things that you can do out there. Hi, you're on the Ron and Fez show. Who's this?
Hey, what's up, man? This is Nico from D.C.
Hey, man.
Hey, I rediscovered, I'm kind of young, so it's kind of sad to say that I rediscovered, but Downward Spiral by 9 Inch Nails.
Absolutely great one, too. You're right about that. Because I remember when it came out going, I think this guy's just fucking taking a quantum leap ahead of everybody. And then it's just started to sound like the past already. You know, by the late 90s, you were already done with that sound. And not too long ago, I went back and listened to it again. And it's fucking amazing.
Nine Inch Nails is the best for rediscovering because, again, that's an album where you only thought you had a couple great songs, and it's so twisted. It does. And can you really name anything that sounds like Nine Inch Nails sounds like that album?
No, and that's what I loved about it before it came out. And I know, like, he was into Floyd, like, a little bit going, I want to fucking create that thing that sounds timeless. And it really is so fucking strange. Paul, you're on Ron and Fez.
Nirvana in utero, man. That's great.
You know what? I'm in a non-Nirvana time of my life right now. I think I got Nirvana'd up, and it's all on the back stove for me right now. It's warming back there. I may take some time.
Give yourself till 2009.
Yeah.
And then when
that long?
Yeah, New Year's Eve 2009, you put on in utero specifically, and you're going to fall back in love with it.
I got one for you, boys. The Velvet Underground. The Velvet Underground and Nico is one that you'll go back to and say to yourself, this fucking leapt ahead of everybody. And then go back and try to go, how were they even from their time? I mean, that album could have came out years later.
Yeah, it was a totally independent sounding album. That album almost reminds me of like an old robe that I've lost. And when I find it,
that smells better.
So comfortable.
Wizard, you're on Ron and Fez.
Hey,
yeah.
Fuck all the rest of that damn Pink Floyd, man. They're all overplayed. Go back to Animals, the number one album they ever did.
Animals is a strong album. It really is.
It's fantastic, but if we're going to talk rediscovered, check out Meddled. Meddled's an album that I rediscover all the time. 20-minute...
Is that the one that Echoes on it?
20-minute Echoes, epic.
And actually strong. It really is weird. And that was before, like, Pink Floyd, legendary Pink Floyd. That was, like, their Fleetwood Mac. Remember how Fleetwood Mac had albums before they became, like, super famous? Here is Dave. Dave, you're on Ron and Fez.
Hey, Ron.
Yeah.
How about the first and third Brewers to Cult albums?
The one with Stairway to the Stars on it?
Yeah.
Yeah, I left that behind. 866-RON-0-FEZ. 866-RON-0-FEZ. Steve, you're on Ron and Fez.
Oh, hi. I got to say Patti Smith Easter.
Patti Smith Easter. Love it. Absolutely love it. And the problem is now, and some of these bands that we're talking about, that there are so many greatest hits out on, that you make the mistake like Earl did with the Bill Withers to just know them or go back to just the greatest hits. And I'm talking about an album, well, at least that's what I think GVAC was talking about, that you catch an artist at a certain point, and that stuff just happened to be, it was just touching genius. He might even have a great career, or they may have a great career, but just at that one point, Chivo, you're on Ron and Fez.
Hey, man, what's up?
Yeah.
Paranoid by Black Sabbath, man.
For me, I always go back to the first Black Sabbath. Wow. Anytime that I think I hate Black Sabbath, I occasionally go back and listen to that first one.
Yeah, it's all right. Black Sabbath...
Either you're in or you're out.
You're in or you're out.
Yeah, I'm more out than in. But there is they did leap ahead. They did kind of create a whole fucking genre of music by themselves. Chris, you're on Ron and Fez.
What's up, fellas?
Yeah.
How about Pearl Jam, Vitalogy? I always seem to go back to that.
Pearl Jam, Vitalogy. What was the first Pearl Jam album?
That was 10.
10 is probably the one that I'll go back to. Only because I do remember that at the time, just feeling like there was a certain period of time there in the early 90s where it just felt like great album after great album, and that was the one for me.
See, that's interesting, because I go back to Versus a lot, their follow-up album.
Right.
I love second albums by bands, and I think that's the one to rediscover.
Interesting. Your favorite thing in life is the second album.
Second album by bands is almost always the best, in my opinion.
I disagree. I'm going to definitely go first albums most of the time. Pretenders' first album is fucking phenomenal. What is wrong with you?
Sorry.
Your stomach keeps growling?
Yeah, I thought I ate.
What you guys are into today is how not to do radio. That seems to be the fucking point here of I don't want to do radio, and I'm going to act like every time I come in here I don't know how it happens. I'm not going to join in anymore. I'm going to fucking fake it and go on like last week. Let me be in my own fucking head, okay? So Pretenders' first album, I'm going to say that gave you the whole Pretenders sound. Guns N' Roses' first album gave you the whole sound. Doug, you're on Ron and Fez.
How about Brothers in Arms, Dire Straits?
It's a great album, but for me, I think I'm going to go back a little earlier for that. And actually, even somebody like Bruce Springsteen, even when his other albums got more famous, I still like the early stuff. Hunky Dory, David Bowie.
That's a phenomenal album.
And it was really the first big album, right?
Yes, it was.
As David Bowie. Let me go over here to Paul. Paul, you're on Ron and Fez.
Yeah, hey, the album for me is London Calling by The Clash. I won't play that for about 6 months, and then I'll put that on. Absolutely brilliant.
Thank you. Brian, you're on Ron and Fez. What do you say, Brian?
Hey,
Yeah.
album for me has got to be Jimi Hendrix, Band of Gypsies.
Strong fucking album. Very, very strong. And there are times in my life where I went, I have listened to Hendrix for the last time. I get it. There will be no more Hendrix in my life. And then I'll go back through a crazy nothing but Hendrix time.
That happens to me with Paul Simon's Graceland, where I'm like, I've heard you could call me Al a million times,
right?
But no, it's all the other great peripheral songs like Diamonds on the Soles of His Shoes and everything.
Here is, well, I don't have your name. Hi, you're on Ron and Fez.
Hi, it's Ken. I like the Astro Weeks. That was a real great choice. But the one that comes back to me all the time is Bob Dylan, Highway 61 Revisited.
You know, I have a very weird, and Dylan, you could pick out so many of them, but I have a fucking weird thing with Blood on the Tracks. That at certain times in my life, and I fucking kid you not, like medicine, I need fucking Blood on the Tracks. It's the only thing that will get me through.
I think it is a feel-good album. I think it's just, there's such a vibe about it. It's got such a, buckets of rain and everything. Just, it feels good. You should be smiling when you listen to that album.
It's something to pull you out of a certain doldrum. It's very weird, too, now that you're finding out when people have an iPods and shit like that you don't have full albums on there anymore, You're starting to turn in your own kind of fucking jukebox with a lot of these iPods. And even when you do have the iPod, it's too easy, if you have the album on, not to switch over and just start listening to something else. So you don't get that, I'm going to fucking have a smoke, put this album on, and that's it, feeling anymore,
Yeah, I mean, actually, it probably started with the invention of CDs. That allows you to start skipping songs. I mean,
skipping songs is a lot easier on the CD than you trying to pick it up on the album like a child.
You're just going to scratch the hell out of that LP trying to do that.
But I mean, on a cassette tape or a record, your tendency was to let it on. Let's go.
Let it rock.
I mean, the one album that always comes to my head as far as like rediscovering, because was Led Zeppelin 4.
Really, out of all the Led Zeppelin?
Led Zeppelin 4, I mean, mainly because...
You are so AOR. You could not be more AOR.
No, but that's kind of... You just hear it so many times, and you just it gets drilled into your head. How many times has Stairway been drilled into your head?
Now that you think that you hate the song, right? You're at a certain point now with, please, not again.
Yeah, and then I'm like...
Unless you listen to it live. That's pretty much the only time I can listen to Stairway these days. Just listening to it live, you get to hear the musicianship, right?
Sometimes when you get softer like that, you're like the little brother with a lisp instead of the writer. Okay. You're like, these days I really don't get to listen to too much music, except if you guys let me. Czar, you're on Ron and Fez.
Hey, I had a great thought, and I'm thinking Neil Young, Harvest. What do you think, Ryder?
Oh, my God, is that one of the best albums?
It is one of the best.
In fact, just say, I like to rediscover anything in the 70s by Neil Young. Tonight's the Night, Harvest.
Mine is After the Gold Rush.
After the Gold Rush.
Which not only will I listen to quite a bit. But walking through Manhattan, if there's a little old lady coming in the other direction, I try to wait until I have that gold rush moment where looks like she's popping out of my back. Remember that from the fucking cover? I always think of that.
Yeah.
To me, one of the great album covers of all time. One of the great albums of all time. Here's Dave. Dave, you're on Ron and Fez.
Hey guys, how you doing?
Yeah.
My album that I always tend to rediscover is It Takes a Nation of Millions to Hold Us Back from Public Enemy.
Fucking strong album. Strong album.
Phenomenal.
And when O&A went through that clusterfuck with the boys when they showed up, it's all I could think about. You know what I mean? I know Flavor Flav is crazy, and I know he took over the show, but when those guys popped up and started working together, it was fucking crazy for me. Brian, you're on the Ron and Fez show.
Yeah, Grateful Dead, American Beauty.
Is that the one with Box of Rain?
Sure is.
Yeah, that's another fucking one for me.
Very strong.
That I will listen to. Yeah, there's not really many studio albums that the Grateful Dead have that you go, oh, I feel like listening to this fucking Pillar Post. But that's definitely one. Very, very strong.
Another great album that you can really kind of just jump onto and rediscover again is the excuse me.
866 Ron Zero Fez. 866 Ron Zero Fez. I'm just not gonna fucking play with it anymore. Rob, you're on Ron and Fez. How are you?
Hey, how you doing, boys?
Yeah.
When it comes to band, their own sound and unbelievable lyrics, Queensryche Empire.
Yeah, not for me. Thank you. Craig, you're on Ron and Fez.
Ronnie, what about Rush 2112?
Never. Here is James. James, you're on Ron and Fez.
Yeah, Ronnie?
Yeah.
Yeah, I go back to that Johnny Winter album, Second Winter, the three-sided album. I thought they were...
Three sides is a little too long for me to stick with Johnny Winter. Now, if you're going to do that whole White Trash live album, I might be with you there. I might hang out.
It's a long winter.
Mark, you're on Ron and Fez.
Hi, Ron. For me, you were talking about David Bowie. I've always liked the Low album. It's only one side if it's any good, but it's damn good.
Well, I disagree with you there. When anyone says that there's only one side as good as when you listen to albums as a child. When a little kid, for some reason, will just pick an album side, and that's the end for him. They won't go back and forth. Low is a fucking strong album for that, too. Here's Patrick. Patrick, you're on Ron and Fez.
Yeah, how you doing, buddies?
Yeah.
I think when you guys talk about like the best album that you can re-listen to, I think that if you take like the Clash, Combat Rock, Rock the Casbah, Should I Stay or Should I Go? Those get blasted on the radio.
Right.
In the context of the record, they're so much better. I think that's where they really shine.
All right, that's a really good way of putting it too. That some of these songs really fit into the context of the album. Like right now, out of all the Pink Floyd, you fucking hate Money. But on that album, that fucking song fits in. It's not a 45. It is part of that concept album. And it drives you crazy that you've let the fucking society ruin it for you.
Yeah, I hate the society for ruining the White Album for me.
Oh, yeah.
But there are so many songs that fit that album like a glove, and when you rediscover it, it's like, holy shit, Rocky Raccoon.
Yeah.
That's one of the best songs of all time.
Well, someone even brought, that's a leap, but it does fit into the fact of all that music is also crazy on there. I mean, it's really a fucking crazy concept, the White Album.
I mean, it feels like a surreal novel. The White Album. And if you take a chapter out of a novel, it's going to be screwy.
GVAC brought this up on runfez.net, that you can go back and rediscover albums. And I'll do it with the Beatles as a whole, where I literally go, I never want to fucking hear the Beatles again. I'm sick of the Beatles. If someone brings up the Beatles as, you know what my favorite album is? Sgt. Pepper. Just like, please leave me alone. And yet, occasionally in your life, you fucking need that Sgt. Pepper album.
And there's nothing like a Beatles kick, because when you're on a Beatles kick, you'll like run over to your friend's house and be like, do you honestly understand how fucking great Abbey Road is?
Yeah.
I mean, seriously, do you realize how great it is?
There are certain people that you burn out on, or else you'll just get into for a little while again, like I'll do that with Steely Dan, where I'll just be like, fucking Katie lied. This is amazing. This is staying in my car. And then I'll go, I can't hear it again. I burnt myself out on it. And it's almost like I've done the same thing where, like, lobster, please. You know what I mean? You start to order lobster too much. Here is Kurt. Kurt, you're on Ron and Fez.
Hey, I'm thinking Beastie Boys' Paul's Boutique. There's not a bad song on that one. You can pick it up anytime.
You know what? That's really a classic album that's probably a little underloved.
It is maybe, I think it could be the best Beastie Boys album. You listen to the Sounds of Science.
Right.
Wow.
And that they were changing their whole scene there.
Yeah.
All of a sudden you found out, wait, these guys aren't some flash in the pan. They're not just going to be here in the 80s. They're going to last.
It was very intricate music.
Yeah.
Especially for hip-hop at that time.
Let me head on over here to Chris. Chris, you're on Ron and Fez.
Yeah, Allman Brothers live at the Fillmore East.
Maybe the greatest of all the live albums. Live at the Fillmore East. And again, I don't know why this happens. When you have a great album, is it always really a great album cover, or does that just reflect? I love that fucking album cover.
It's pretty beautiful.
It looks like rock and roll to me. That album cover is like anything anybody ever really wanted rock to be.
Yeah, I like it. Get your yayas out, you know, a little. There's a goat on there. There's Charlie Watts. It's insanity, and then the live music holds up big time.
I can't have the funny fucking hat. You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
I find myself going, that's a little silly. But I agree with you about Yaya stuff. It's a fucking great live album.
And that's the album where you hear the Midnight Rambler.
The one that we love,
song,
right? Yeah. The one that when you hear the studio version now,
you're like, what the?
What the hell is that? Here is Brian. Brian, you're on Ron and Fez.
Hey, Ronnie, album that I love minus the hits is Radiohead The Bends.
I wouldn't say minus the hits, though. You got to be able to, you know, fucking throw yourself in. But I will hit. Radiohead is somebody I want to listen to all the way through.
Yeah, oh, my God. You're doing yourself a disservice.
Yeah.
Because every album is basically a concept album.
Right.
And they're heavily influenced by Floyd, but...
And it's not just, in the same way, it doesn't have to be concept topic, but just feel. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like everything is just rolling along from one track to the next, which you wonder, is that harder to write and perform that way, or is that the only way that makes sense?
Right.
That's what you're presenting at that time.
And it seems like their one feeling is paranoia.
Yeah.
Like every single Radiohead album, you could say, what's this album about? Oh, it's about paranoia.
Well, Pink Floyd, you could say the exact same thing.
I guess that's true, yeah.
That's a fucking look over your shoulder a bit ever. Bob, you're on Ron and Fez.
Hey, what's up, fellas?
Yeah.
I wanted to join in on this rediscovering thing. There's one album by the Rolling Stones that it transcends everything, and it incorporates just about every style of music, from country to gospel to just ass-kicking rock and roll. You got to go with Exile on Main Street by the Rolling Stones, the greatest album of all time.
It is a hell of an album. It really is. Hey, Hulk Knight, you're on Ron and Fez.
Hello, yeah, hey, how about a little rock opera comic? What about that one?
Now, occasionally, I will act like this is a silly, fucking, stupid album that is embarrassing. But then at other times, I'm like, this is really fucking proves. Townsend, Kid Toucher, yeah, but genius, more important. Quadrophenia, same way. Who's Next, same way. I can fucking roll all three of those.
Yeah, especially Who's Next. Oh, my Lord, from start to finish. They were always like a futuristic rock band that didn't sound like they were from the future.
I don't even know what that means. That's fucking crazy drunk talk.
It was mind-bending music.
I don't know if I believe any of the things that you're saying right now. Mike, you're on Ron and Fez.
Hey, what's up, buddies?
Yeah.
I can't wait to get home. You got me so psyched. Queen's News of the World.
Singles band. 866-RUN-0-FEZ. 866-RUN-0-FEZ. Here is Java. Java, you're on Ron and Fez.
Hey, if we're going to go through the rediscovering, go with the surf and turf, man. Master of Puppets, Metallica, and Michael Jackson, Thriller.
Personally, if you're going to go Michael Jackson, I'll go Living Off the Wall, whatever that fucking thing was before Thriller. because there's a lot of empty spots on Thriller for me where I feel embarrassed. But Master of Puppets, I have a little prejudice there because those fuckers ruined my hearing. I was at a concert, my fucking ears melted, literally melted. Here's Rob. Rob, you're on Ron and Fez.
Hey, how you doing? How about Marvin Gaye? What's going on? That one always comes back strong.
This is beautiful. This album, sometimes you think, how overrated, because whenever they're putting together their list of top albums of all time, it's on there so much that it starts to frustrate you like Citizen Kane. But it is a fucking masterpiece. It really is.
Oh, it's a very brilliant album. I personally opt for Sam Cooke better.
Why? You got to pick your black men? You can't. I never saw you do this with any fucking rock performers. When I said Stones, you didn't go, oh no, I picked the Beatles. But as soon as a black man is mentioned, you have to pick another black man.
No, I'm just saying they were up for comparison, those guys.
Racist. First of all, they weren't even the same fucking times. Sam Cooke was the 50s. Marvin, that album came out in the early 70s. So your racism has shined through. And I really hope B-Side Dave destroys you. It's the Ron and Fez Show.
To bring some loving here today. Yeah. Father, we don't.
Ron Bennington, Fez Watley, the Ron and Fez Show. XM 202.
It's the Ron and Fez Show. We got the tightest bumpers in the business. Well, here's the host of My Generation. It's Stalker Patty. Hey, Patty.
Hey, how are you? I get down with Momentary Lapse of Reason by the Moody Blues. I love that whole album.
Oh, nice. Hey.
Yeah, especially the intro and Dogs of War, Learning to Fly. It's really an awesome album.
And what band did that?
Moody Blues.
Moody Blues did that.
Yeah, great group.
Yeah. And what year did that come out?
That came out in the late 80s, early 90s.
And what band did it?
Moody Blues.
Thank Patty.
Okay.
Patty, what's going to happen if you? When are you going to do your big show, My Generation?
I don't know. They didn't tell me yet. I heard Opie say I could do it.
Yeah.
So,
you didn't get a start date?
A musical hour.
There we go. Patty, I want you to think over it now because you are now going to be a DJ, right?
Yeah, not a very good one, but yeah.
Now, here's from your favorite album, right?
Yeah.
What band is this?
Moody Blues, I believe.
Think, Patty.
Oh, yeah, Momentary Lapse of Reason. Pink Floyd, excuse me. Excuse me. Oh, I'm sorry, excuse me. But I was Learning to Fly.
Yeah, but, so it wasn't Moody Blues.
I think it was. I just know the album very well, and I have the tape that's in my collection somewhere.
Well, you must have wiped the title off. This is Pink Floyd.
What?
This is Pink Floyd, not Moody Blues. Yeah,
that's right. It is. I'm terribly sorry.
No,
the intro.
It's fine now, Patty. But when you have My Generation.
Yeah, my dad used to give me chicken livers.
And, there's a little piece off of that. When you put that out, you make these kind of mistakes, people will cancel their XM. You've got to be dead on when you're a DJ.
Oh, I'm going to do very tight research. Everything will be impeccable when I do that because I don't want to embarrass myself.
Right. Or O&A for giving you the opportunity, right?
Right. Yeah, it better be good or else.
Now, is it only going to be songs from the 60s?
I don't know. I'm going to get together all of my favorite music, just pick a few, do some commentary, and talk about things,
So it may not be just the 60s.
May not be, no. I change it every 5 minutes.
Maybe.
Like, I want to do this. I want to do that.
What if your hook becomes the best of the 60s, 70s, 80s, 90s, and beyond?
I don't know. I have to see what develops as I do it. I won't be doing this for a while because there's other people ahead on Saturday night.
But only people are only looking forward to yours. I'm going to tell you right now, that's the one I'm going to be locked in for.
Wow.
Yeah.
You need to keep
I
pushing.
think everybody else is good.
You know what I'm saying, Patty?
Yeah.
All right, Patty, go home and study that music.
Okay, and I hope to see you at the Hard Rock on the 23rd. I'm just waiting to hear for tickets. I already put in my request last week.
You're on the list. Everybody, thank you very much. Bye-bye. As it worked out, everybody on Mikey Boy's list is in, Earl?
Yeah, we're still putting the list together. But
well, let's let them know because people are starting to email me now.
Yes, they will start to get known.
All right, Gulpy? Been gulping a lot over there today, right?
My voice is shot. I was very dry today.
From what? Listening to the show?
No, it's just been hoarse all weekend.
From what? Horsecock?
No.
I was with you Saturday. You talked and you had all kinds of personality. It seemed like you're allergic to a mic.
No, I'm not allergic to a mic. I'm just hoarse. I just became very hoarse over the weekend.
You weren't hoarse before the show. I talked to you. But you gulp on the show. You have problems talking on the air.
No, I don't have any problems at all. It's just something that happens.
All right, so I'm hearing things. When I hear you gulp and go on and not be able to finish your sentences.
No, it's not that at all. I'm just, right at this particular moment, I'm just very hoarse.
And you picked the wrong trade, huh?
I'm just fighting my way through this, so I'm trying to...
You're fighting your way or everyone else is?
No, I don't want to...
And then in the meantime, I got fucking Ryder's stomach growling. As you said, you had a rough weekend, right?
Yeah, just a bad panic mode over the weekend.
What happened to you on Sunday?
Sunday, I tried to do some exercise. I've been trying to get back on my heart diet and stuff, and kind of got really out of breath at one moment, had some pain to go with it, and just went into a whole, like what happened with Week, where just all of a sudden the mortality of it and the heart attack and I can't do this and did I do too much, it all caught up to me and I got really just right back in that heart attack moment. So that's what happened to me over the weekend. Just one of those blind panic things where panic attack combined with, oh, I shouldn't have tried to exercise so much. And I didn't even think it was that much exercise. That would just, put me that far over the line with my breath.
So you came in a weird mood today?
Yeah.
So you're in a weird mood, Earl's in a weird mood, and the writer hasn't been himself in quite some time. Big gig coming up in just a couple of weeks. February 23rd. We're all looking forward to it. Jake, you're on Ron and Fez.
Hey, buddies. Love the show.
Thanks.
Hey, I just wanted to remark about Earl. He's been hoarse since last week. The dude says he's hoarse every day. I mean, about this rate, he shouldn't be able to be talking.
And he's only hoarse when it's time to talk on the air. There's no other time that he's hoarse. Yet he gets...
Exactly. Earl, get a new bit, buddy.
Thank
Love you guys.
He gets close to a microphone and it's time to slow the show down. I'm doing what I can. Trying my hardest. Here's Matt. Matt, you're on Ron and Fez.
Hey guys. Yeah, Fezzy, I was wondering, you're back on your workout routine, is that correct?
Well, trying to get there. Yesterday was the start and it didn't go very well.
Let me ask you, do you eat the bacon before or after you work out?
There was no bacon yesterday. No bacon included.
All right, so you're trying hard then.
What did you attempt to do yesterday, Fez?
Yesterday it was a treadmill in the workout room in my building. So I went down to the treadmill and just, I felt good, that's why I decided to go do it. And then all of a sudden, I can't get my breath back. And it just feels like such a bad frickin' failure thing where it just all of a sudden I went back to that whole day, especially when my chest started hurting, where I went back to that whole day of when when we went to the doctor in the hospital.
Mm-hmm.
So I just totally went back to that, and the more nervous I got, the worse it was to breathe.
Why didn't you call anybody?
My thing was just get upstairs, get back in my apartment, and once I get up there, I just don't think.
So what did you do all day?
I just went to bed and just kind of laid there for the biggest part of the day.
Oh, it's your first Sunday without football. Every other Sunday you come over to my house, we have stuff to do. Maybe you should call me, we could have, done something.
I thought about that, but I'm like, Ronnie's got a free Sunday. Don't call him up and bug him with this. That was my, one of my thoughts.
Why didn't you call Earl? Bug him. Call the rider, bug him.
I just don't think so much to call anybody when that's going on. How
long were you walking before all this happened to you?
It was probably about, I think, like 20 minutes, 15, 20 minutes.
What's your thing of starting that high? This is your first workout since the heart attack, right?
Well, since I got out of, cardiac rehab.
So basically you're first on your own.
Yeah.
So you probably waited too long to do that, right?
Yeah.
Why try to start it at 20 minutes? Why wouldn't you go smaller?
Because it was just one of those things where I felt really good going down there, and I thought I could do more, and I went too far before I realized it.
Jeremy, you're on Ron and Fez.
Big ass prize closet, buddy. Fezzy's crying.
Oh, yeah. Send you to the prize closet. How many times has Melinda told you to call her?
Every time. Yeah.
Did you call her?
No. I didn't call anybody.
You didn't call me? You didn't call Melinda?
No, I didn't call anyone.
What'd you do? Laid in bed and felt sorry for yourself?
Laid in bed and just panicked the rest of the afternoon.
Well, what's the panic? Describe the panic.
It's that feeling. It's very much in the moment of that day when I had the heart attack.
Yeah.
And it's like reliving that moment, like really up close.
Mm-hmm.
Not to mention, I get the chest pains and stuff.
Right.
That go with it. So a lot of it is it's just right on the edge. It's right there.
Remember before we talked about getting a therapist?
Right.
Have you done that?
No, I checked into a couple therapists, and it was one of those things where I called 3 names, and nobody would take me because they already had patients. When I go through the list of therapists and stuff, for whatever reason, I find there's a name just looking at it that I connect with, and I feel like that's the person. And when that person says, "I can't see you, I'm not taking new patients right now," that rejection gets to me, and it's really hard to go and do that again.
All right.
With a new name and a new person.
Now, what if I told you this? I got to paint my house, and I want to paint it fucking gray. And when I call the paint store, the one in the paint store that looks like it's for me because the name jumps out at me, and they don't have gray paint, would I take that personally?
No.
Because it's not
personal.
Yeah, what you're describing right there doesn't even make sense. The fact that you feel that you can look at a name that you can connect with, and when that person says, I already have too many patients, I can't take you in, to take that as if it's some kind of personal, no, we don't like you, Fez, doesn't even make sense.
I understand that. It's that. It feels like a rejection.
Right.
But it's also, it takes a lot to get myself to make that call.
Why?
I don't know. It's just really hard to do that.
But to me, that sounds like exactly the type of person who needs therapy.
Right.
The guy who gets upset because a doctor is filled with patients and feels like that's something hard that has happened to them, that's not what we would call a normal thing. You know what I'm saying?
I understand. Yeah, and it's just that it's difficult to put myself out there and say to a stranger, I need to
not when you're feeling well. The problem is, you need to get this therapist on times that you're feeling well, so you got somebody to call when you're feeling like this. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, that makes total sense.
At the same time, I don't know you're in this mood. I come in here, I'm, yelling at Earl, and you know, the boys drop by, and you've been quiet all day. We don't know what's going on with you. And then finally you break down and tell us that you've been going. No one knows.
Right.
No one knows that you're not at 100% today. You know what I'm saying? So you're not doing anybody any favors.
Right. Yeah.
You're not doing others favors. You're not doing yourself a favor. It's this, I don't know, some kind of fucking shame cycle that doesn't, make sense for you or for us.
Yeah, I mean, I know all the logical things.
You had a heart attack how long ago?
It was a year ago last November.
All right. So a year, 4 months. You're still not working out. You haven't got the therapist they told you to get. And you don't have the nutrition thing worked out. So occasionally you are going to hit things. But even if it had nothing to do with your heart, anybody who hasn't done any exercise for a year and whatever is going to feel blowing up after walking on a treadmill. The only time that you feel good walking on a treadmill is about 3 or 4 weeks into using the treadmill type thing. They're the only people that don't. Anybody else could be a fucking thin guy, hops on the treadmill, and if it's going fast, in 20 minutes, if it's his first day, he's blown up.
It all makes sense, and it's just hard to tell myself the sensible things when, the panic attack kicks in.
Right. I understand that. But, again, you've had a year and 4 months to get a therapist. Because you have panic attacks.
Right. And I start to feel better about something, because I looked for a therapist. I didn't get it done those first few tries. And then it was kind of like, all right, well, then I just put it off, because at that point, I got to the point where not that I didn't feel I needed one, but it wasn't a desperate situation either.
Can I tell you the truth? Mm-hmm. This is the only time that you're outgoing is when you're talking about yourself. If the show stops and we start talking about you, you're totally involved in it. If we're talking about anything else anymore, you're not involved in it.
And that's not good. That's not good for anyone either.
But what I'm trying to say is right now, your only interest is in yourself. And I'm not saying that in a bad way. But everything that's in front of you is the only thing that seems to bring any passion out of you. I'm not saying like it means that you're selfish or anything else. I'm just saying I'm not surprised when you find yourself, a little out of whack with it.
Because I know that I put myself in my own world and I don't see what else is going on around me.
John, you're on Ron and Fez.
Hey, buddy.
Yeah.
I wanted to ask Fezzy why it's so hard to put himself out there to talk to a shrink when he can easily seems to be able to do it and talk to millions of your listeners. And Ronnie, you're doing a great job being everybody's therapist today.
I'm nobody's therapist. If I thought I could do it, I would do it with him. But he needs somebody obviously a lot more understanding than any of us are. But yeah, if it's so difficult to talk about yourself, Fez, why is it so easy for you to do it?
It's not that it's difficult to talk about myself. Like, once I went into the person's office, I would be able to do that. It's making that initial step. It's really hard for me to make that appointment and commit to that. It's because I've had therapists before, and I've talked about stuff. You
gotta sue them.
So, but it's fine. I just don't want to hear that person say no again.
No what? No, I'm full?
No, I can't take any more patients.
Yeah, I don't understand why that is the problem. I mean, obviously I'm not fucking getting the whole thing, but I'm sure if we grab the phone book, there's got to be a hell of a lot more than 3 fucking therapists in the phone book. And going to even a shitty therapist would probably be better for you right now. Here's Jimmy. Jimmy, you're on Ron and Fez.
Hey, Ronnie, I didn't hear the show before you guys came on XM. It's so interesting to hear Fezzy. I don't know if he was like this before, but to see such a successful radio personality guy doing 2 jobs a day, holding his own there, and then to hear his private kind of psyche. It's just amazing to hear somebody like that. It's really interesting.
Well, great, thanks.
Okay.
No, you've been like this before, the heart attack, right?
Oh, yeah, I've had panic before. Totally. Lots of times.
Here's Marcia. Marcia, you're on Ron and Fez.
Hey, I'm a rehab nurse, and Fez, you're just trying to do too much too fast. We'll start somebody out taking 16 steps, and that way you don't get overwhelmed. I know it feels better if you can say you've been on the treadmill for 20 minutes, but try being on it for 5 minutes and work your way up. What do you think about that?
Yeah, I mean, it's just obvious. I mean, and it was actually a stupid thing to do.
It was, and if you realize this, I know 16 steps seems like nothing to you. But if you fucking just did that by 50% more, and if you would start it back when they told you to, you'd probably be doing 2 hours a day now. You went from doing nothing to doing 20 minutes on the fucking treadmill, and then you're upset that you got out of breath, which, again, anybody would. Even people that look fit, if they were cranked up a treadmill, they would feel the exact same way.
So just you try to do a little bit at a time and work your way up. And I think you'll do fine.
Thank you, Marcy.
George.
Yeah, 6341.
Hoo-ah!
Yeah, listen here. Fezzy, are you taking any kind of stuff for your panic attacks?
No, I'm not taking any sort of antidepressants or anti-panics or whatever they call those.
Well, because I know you have a personal care physician, right?
Yeah.
A personal doctor. Why don't you see if they can give you some Klonopin? That stuff is for panic attacks. And if you only take it when you have the panic attacks, it doesn't sedate you, but it will prevent the overall rapid heartbeat, this mindless...
You've been on Klonopin before, right, Fez?
Yeah, I've been on...
So you're not happy with that?
No, Klonopin never worked for me before. I tried it, and it was
Maybe
one of many that I tried and didn't work.
Maybe you need to up the dose on it.
No, I don't think up in the doses. I've tried up in doses, lower in doses. None of it was working with any of those pills.
I'm going to write something up for you here, Fez.
Okay.
I want you to take a vacation from your problems.
A vacation from my problems. That I will.
Eric, you're on Ron and Fez.
Hey, buddies, how you guys doing?
Yeah.
Fez, I just wanted to know if you ever thought about getting an assistant or something, maybe to help you out with all these issues, and have them call for you and have them...
We can't even get an assistant at work. Could you imagine if you had Earl and Ryder run your personal life?
I don't think,
Chokey and Growly?
I really don't think an assistant is the answer to this.
Why not? All those gay guys have assistants, and they're all happy, and they go, what should I wear today? And everybody makes a big deal out of it.
I don't think I would have that much for an assistant to do.
Well, right away, you could have called for a therapist for you.
Yeah, that's true.
And then they rub your fucking back, your ass, whatever happens, I guess.
I think that's more of a physical therapist.
Not the one I'm talking about. Russ, you're on Ron and Fez.
What's up? Excuse me.
But you don't make food for yourself.
Excuse me.
No, I don't.
You don't know how to work an iron.
No. An iron I am never... The iron I have just completely written off. That is one appliance that I will never work.
Maybe get yourself a nice old Polish woman who comes in, cooks your food, does your ironing, scrubs your floors, and makes your calls for you. My boss, he would like to get some kind of therapy.
Is this Fez's assistant?
Russ, you're on Ron and Fez.
Hey, excuse me, I'm a little hoarse. I get hoarse when I talk on the radio. I wanted to ask Fezzy, why are you acting like Gail O?
Hopefully I'm not that bad off yet.
You are kind of our Gail O.
If I'm headed down the Gail O road, I'm in really big trouble.
Do you see any difference between yourself and Gail?
Yeah.
Ryder, would you see any difference between the way Fez is leading his life and the way Gail O's leading his life?
No, unfortunately, Daddy, I would not see much of a difference.
All right, I'm going to read you off something, and you tell me whether it's Gail O or Fez W.
Okay.
When he goes goes to get food, attacked by cockroaches?
Say that's Gail.
That's both. So that was a trick question right off the bat. They're both gets kicked and choked by Paul O.
Well, that's Gail.
That one is definitely
okay.
Gail. Afraid to call a doctor.
Sounds like Gail to me.
That would be Fez.
Okay. Oh.
Gail has no problems at all calling her therapist.
Oh, Daddy.
Gail has a staff.
Yeah.
All right, so I was mistaken.
Goes through money like there's no tomorrow.
Oh, I know that's definitely Gail. I know
that's
Fez,
not Fez.
I know his spending habits.
Yeah. Whatever his manic depressant, the manic doesn't have money or fun involved in it.
Is that another trick question, Ronnie B? Because it sounds like both to me.
Yeah. And husband bangs somebody during the filming of Gap.
I want to say Fezzy, but I'm going to go with Gail again.
Right again. You're doing
yeah.
very good today.
All right.
Yeah, go with Gail O on that one.
Yeah,
but it
very,
could be.
very good.
Writer.
Jim, you're on Ron and Fez.
Hey, Ron. Hey, Fez. How's it going?
Good.
Hey, I just wanted to give some support for Fezzy. I kind of go through the same stuff with anxiety attacks and panic attacks every once in a while. And what he's got to do is, if it's at night, he takes some melatonin, and it'll chill you out, you know.
You ever eat the melatonin, Fez?
Melatonin, off of the long list I've had, I've never had melatonin.
You can get that at the health food store.
Yeah, it'll chill you out a little bit. And
makes you a little tired.
Okay. So what he's got to do is, he's got to eat more fruits and vegetables and stuff, and take a 5-minute walk instead of a 20-minute walk.
You eat any fruits and vegetables now, Fez?
I have some vegetables. I'll have salads.
That's just lettuce. Any vegetables. You need fresh vegetables.
Yeah, nothing really with, like, cooked vegetables.
The one thing about a salad, the lettuce isn't good for you.
The only thing, I'll have, like, some carrots or tomatoes thrown in the salad. That's about my extent on the vegetables.
What's the rest of it? Peanut butter and jelly? Earl, you never check on Fez over the weekend? Fuck him, right?
No, not
Fuck
at
him
all.
in the ear.
No, but Fez, you can always call me if you're having problems.
You know what? That's not what people are looking for. People are looking for friends to check on them. He didn't call me. He didn't call his folks.
I mean,
he needs an assistant.
I'll check on him on the weekend.
Horsey, why don't you go over there, and when he needs you, you clear your throat.
I mean, but I'm
act like you know nothing about music.
No, I'm there for you, Fez. I'm always there for you. You know that.
I just think it would...
Apparently he didn't. He didn't call you.
Yeah. I didn't think Earl cared.
I totally care.
Well, this one ends fun today. 866-RON-0-FEZ. 866-RON-0-FEZ. What's next for you, Fezzy?
I guess I will go back to looking for another therapist, because after this weekend, I gotta do something like that.
I want you to call this friend of mine. His name is Dr. Rejection. Call him and tape it, because I've got to hear the funny remarks he says to you.
I have a feeling he's going to hang up on me.
You think... I don't understand where you get to this thing where your feelings get hurt if somebody has a lot of patience.
Yeah, I get... Because what I do is I build it up in my own stupid head. You know, when I finally make that call for a therapist, and I'm like, okay, this person will help me, and this is what I need, and I'm doing a positive step in my life. And then when I get told no, it just... I've built it all up in my head like an idiot.
Bob, you're on Ron and Fez.
Hey, Fezzy, nothing better than a good bottle of Jack Daniels on hand, boy.
Would you like to get the alcoholism thing going, Fez?
I don't think that's going to help. That's just
because that I could help you with. If you get to that point where you're an alcoholic, I know how to help you.
That's just going to throw in some huge depression, some liquored up depression.
Yeah, but it's good depression. It's depression that you like to listen to harmonica music.
Maybe it'll get rid of the panic, but probably lead me down another bad road.
Riley, you're on Ron and Fez.
Hey, what's up, Ice?
Yeah.
Hey, Fez needs a pet or something, like a dumb bird or something he can talk to. And also, Ron, I think you're making a milestone because you figured out Earl's problem, too. Fucking Gail O must be like fucking Earl in the mouth. They're both dry as shit.
Thank you.
A pet's not going to work for me.
How do you know? How do you know? You need to try whatever it takes out there. Your problem right now, Fez, is that you're holding on to anything. Nothing works, right?
Right.
So why would you act like what's not going to work? You need to open up in the world. You need to find out. Earl, you're his new assistant. I want you to fill that fucking apartment with his with animals. Just chock full of fucking animals.
I hate animals.
And I guarantee you have something to keep your mind going.
I am just not a pet fan. The amount of work and crap is just too much from an animal.
No kidding here, though, Fez. The only time you and Gail O are interested in anything is talking about your own problems. That's something that's interesting to me.
Yeah, I think it's a huge bad thing.
Do you think?
Yeah, it's awful.
Strike, you're on Ron and Fez.
Yeah, hey, buddies. Yeah. Hey, Fezzy, I got a doctor I could refer you and Gail O to. He's very good. His name's Dr. Kevorkian.
I didn't even know he was.
Really help you.
I didn't even know he was out. I'm not going to the suicide doctor.
John, you're on Ron and Fez.
Hey, what's up, Ron? Hey, Fezzy, you need to lay out the deep-fried chicken livers. See ya.
Yeah, my dad used to give me chicken livers.
Here's Turtle, you're on Ron and Fez. How you doing, Turtle?
Good, buddies. How you doing?
Yeah.
Fez, I don't know what you're going through, but I can empathize with you. You have your diet, your exercise, the panics, and all this, and it seems like it's an insurmountable, huge thing for you to tackle.
True.
Take it one step at a time, focus on one thing for 2 weeks, and say, I'm going to start with my diet, and I'm going to make myself accountable for it, and, go on ronfez.net or Whackbag or somewhere and say, this is what I'm going to eat today, this is what I'm going to do today, and you'll get positive feedback from the guys, and you build on that, and after 2 weeks, you start including exercise, and then you just continue to build on it, but you have to make yourself accountable. You understand what I'm saying? Does that make sense?
Put yourself online, Fezzy, as like an online reality show.
An online food diary.
Diarrhea.
Well, or just, do it
or
with
puke every time you eat.
It doesn't have to be online. You can do it with whoever, Fez, but it's, you need to pick one thing and get started. Because, complaining about it, it's not getting you anywhere.
Well, let's see. Since you've had the heart attack, have you made any changes in your life?
I changed my diet for a while, but then went back to bad habits.
But you changed it to what?
To a healthy diet.
That's not true. You changed it to not eating, and everybody here saw you do it. You were not on a healthy diet. You were not on a program. You were afraid of food.
Right, I see what you're saying.
And when you stopped not eating, you started eating normal for you.
Right.
And you gained your weight back.
Yeah.
But you did not eat healthy. You're not even paying attention to your own life and the things that are working and not working. But everybody is going that with us that says Fez has stopped eating, and we kind of just kept an eye on you. And that went on for 5 months, 6 months,
6 months.
And then when you started eating again, you started eating the way you were before. But you never were on a program, not even for a day.
Well, it felt like a program because I had cut so much stuff out.
You cut out food. That's not a program. Were you following a program?
Well, I was following the program I followed was what the nutritionist told me not to eat. So it wasn't so much of following a program of what to eat, just what not to.
Matt, you're on Ron and Fez.
Hey, guys. Fezzy, it sounds like you need to find like a hobby or something to do on the weekends, something that you actually enjoy where you can spend some time relaxing and not worrying about stuff. If it's putting puzzles together or playing solitaire or reading a book or something just to do, to whittle the time away.
All right, Earl, get him a bunch of those puzzles. Run down to Dwayne Reed, pick up a couple of puzzles. Fez, I want you to finish a puzzle a day.
Seems like an awful lot to do. Those 1,000-piece jigsaw puzzles, that'll drive me insane.
Mike, you're on Ron and Fez.
Hey, Fez. Hey, buddy, listen, what you probably need is a colonic. Get yourself cleaned out.
Tube up your ass will do it for you, Fez.
That seems like too simple of an answer, but I will, if the doctor suggests it, yeah, I'll go with it.
Who cares? The doctor. Where's the doctor at all this time?
Well,
you don't call him and say I'm having panic attacks?
I've talked to him, about it before, and he said, go see a shrink.
All right, gang, let's slip out of here.
That's the end of my show. Donk.
inside.